Stall out them pint bottles out granny crib. I poured so much I ain't want to live. Told money then, shit we in the wind. I was in the hood when I clipped the bin. Since a young nigga I been ready. Went glass house on every Chevy. In this game I tried plenty settings. It's all or nothing how niggas been. Got sucker niggas, keep suckers with them. One of the reasons I ain't fucking with them. Trish taking some more than them. Guess she couldn't even afford a winner. I'm open late, don't need a scale. And it's always over, sneak wishing well. I double down, slick shit to spell. Shawty know I don't kiss and tell. I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm faded, 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 faded. And I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. I was moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spent a night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean. Temporary feelings mixed with temporary pleasures. All these temporary moments and these temporary treasures. Temporary circumstances to temporary measures. Temporary friends and even temporary schedules. Temporary smiles and temporary goals. Temporary women sliding on temporary poles. Temporary comments and temporary trolls. I just pray that God bless me. Ain't no temporary souls. I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. I was moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spent a night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean.
Alright, chat. Y'all ready? What we doing tonight, chat? What we doing tonight, chat? Y'all ready? It's almost 10. It's almost 10. What we doing tonight, man?
To the greatest damn show on YouTube. Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Oh, man. Double tap the screen, shut alive. What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen, shut alive. What we doing tonight, chat? XX, what it do, man? We got what Maduro's capture means to Trump in the USA. Iran riots are out of control. What's next? Double tap the screen, shut alive out, chat. We got an action-packed episode, man. We're gonna get straight into it. We got all of this going on with the Maduro being captured and extradited to New York. We got Iran going crazy with the riots and protests. Yeah, we got a lot going on. Russia's come out and condemned the U.S.'s attacks. China's looking like they're getting ready to ramp it up over there in Taiwan, chat. This might just be crazy. Also, we got Katie Miller, Stephen Miller's wife, coming out. It's posting that Greenland is next. Y'all double tap the screen, shut alive out. That is Maduro right there. He was the one, they said he told the press Happy New Year and, you know, was perp walked up out of there. He was perp walked up out of there. Why the hell can we not see Plug? Why can we not see Plug when I'm doing that? Hold on, chat. I don't like that. Let's get into it, though, chat. We're not going to waste no time. We're going to get straight into tonight's episode. Hope everybody's having a great night, whether you just now logging on for the day or you've had a full day and you are unwinded. Double tap the screen for me. Share this live out far and wide. Do not gatekeep this channel. Let's get into it. This is Tucker Carlson speaking on Maduro having the most socially conservative country in the Western Hemisphere. Said Maduro had banned pornography. Maduro had banned gay marriage. Maduro had also banned sex changes and usury and abortion. So they're saying Maduro had the most socially conservative country in the Western Hemisphere. Let's get into it.
I was just sitting there being interviewed by Megyn Kelly and said something. He said something like, well, Tucker Carlson's, for Maduro. the communist leader of Venezuela, who I guess were on the way to killing or something, forcing out, regime changing him. And he defended Maduro. Didn't, actually. And Megyn Kelly says, well, Tucker said in his show that Maduro, most people didn't know this, whatever his many faults, I wouldn't hire him as an economist, okay?
Right, nobody would hire Maduro as an economist. Come on, Tucker, let's get into it, man. What did you say about Maduro that Megyn Kelly said, man?
But whatever his many faults, it has the most socially conservative country probably in the hemisphere. So Venezuela, it's just a fact. I mean, I didn't make this up. I'm not in charge of Venezuela. Just noticing that Venezuela has banned pornography, banned abortion, banned gay marriage, banned sex changes, and banned usury. You don't have credit cards with 40% interest in Venezuela. Okay. Pro responded this way.
Tucker's made the point, I'm not going to here to be Tucker's defender, but he's made the point that Maduro is culturally conservative.
Who gives a shit? The guy's a communist dictator. Everyone in his country is eating dog. He's shipping fentanyl to the United States to kill Americans. Why do I give a shit whether he's anti-LGBTQ rights?
Who gives a shit? I do. I'm not moving to Venezuela. I'm not pro-Maduro.
You said, how do I feel about LGBTQ and freedom of speech? When it comes to the LGBTQ community, I have my gripes with them. I do. But I don't hate them. Like, they do their own thing. They mind their business. But when they kind of meshed the woke movement and whatever police brutality was with the LGBTQ plus ITI, whatever, I didn't like that. The same thing that's happening with the MAGA movement, we've seen it happen before with the woke movement. Woke started off as one thing and turned into a whole pile of other shit. Same thing with the MAGA movement. It started off as one thing and now it's turning into something completely different. So that's how I feel about the LGBTQ. When it comes to freedom of speech, I mean, I'm here for it. It's a fine line between freedom of speech and hate speech, as we're seeing, but when it boils down to it, I'm for the free speech. I'm not for people blocking the speech. If they want to come arrest you and shit, that's some bullshit. They want to say it's this very fine line between hate speech and freedom of speech. I think threatening someone is different. Now, threatening hate speech, whatever, bro. Threatening someone, all right, your ass threatened you. You violated the law. But when it comes to just talking about shit or just voicing your opinion on what you see, yeah, I'm not with that shit, because I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Everybody talk about niggas. Let's just be all the way honest. Niggas, in the eyes of some people, can't do anything right. And there ain't no laws protecting niggas from getting talked about. There were laws protecting niggas from being slaves. There were laws protecting niggas from getting hit with water hoses and shit like that. Before it's talking about niggas, it ain't no laws stopping you from talking about no niggas, man. I'm just gonna be real. So when it comes to freedom of speech, I'm for it.
I care about that. Why wouldn't I care about that? I've got kids. So I'm against abortion. Sorry, unpopular. I feel that way. I think it's really sad. I would personally become poorer to end abortion, voluntarily become poorer to end abortion in the United States. That's not a choice. Don't want to become poor, but I would, because I care about it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're offended that I do, but I care about it. Lots of people care about it. I don't think pornography is good.
That's the thing. See, Tucker Carlson is saying he would become poorer if it meant abortions. You know, if it meant there was no more abortions, he would become poorer. Well, when you're a millionaire, poorer is a very different situation than being poor. See, poorer is not the same thing as poor. Tucker Carlson can be poorer than he is and still be a fucking millionaire. Tucker Carlson, are you willing to be poor? I'm talking about piss poor, dirt poor, scraping it together, man. Barely getting fucking by. Are you willing to live that life? Not a poorer life, but a poor life. Like, I mean, poor, dirt fucking poor, man.
That really hurts people. I don't think pretending that the sexes are the same is good. And you claimed that you didn't think it was good. But it turns out, quote, I don't give a shit. Arrows against Israel. Oh, okay.
Oh, and when it comes to sex changes, I'm not with that shit at all. I'm just gonna be all the way honest with you. When it comes to sex changes, I'm not really with that shit at all. Child sex changes, adult sex changes, I'm just not with it, man. It is what it is, man. Like, damn, bro. Like, golly, man. But that's their business. Y'all asked me. All right, chat, we're going to move on. That was starting with the Venezuela. We're going to listen to this lady right here. This is a general General Laura Richardson. This is from 2023, and she kind of foretold what was going to go on with the Americas and especially Latin America and the strategic importance of Latin America and all of those resources down there. We're going to get into the Trump interview here in a minute. We've seen Trump say what? We're going to keep the oil. We're going to take control of the oil reserves. 303 billion gallons of oil. They're saying Trump just took about $17 trillion, man. They're saying Trump just wiped down Venezuela for about $17 trillion, man. We'll get into that here in a second. Let's hear from this general right quick, though.
Venezuela and Nicaragua with Russia relationships. Why this region matters with all of its rich resources and rare earth elements. You've got the lithium triangle, which is needed for technology today. 60% of the world's lithium is in the lithium triangle. Argentina, Bolivia, Chile. You just have the largest oil reserves, light sweet crude, discovered off of Guyana over a year ago. You have Venezuela's resources as well with oil, copper, gold. We have the Amazon, lungs of the world. We have the 31% of the world's fresh water in this region too. I mean, it's just off the charts. We have a lot to do. This region matters. It has a lot to do with national security, and we need to step up our game. Cuba, Venezuela, right, Nicaragua with Russia.
So before we roll over there and into what Trump was saying about the what happened, I'm gonna give y'all a couple of points. It says the United States is poised to take control of Venezuelan oil reserves valued at approximately $17.3 trillion. Also, Russia, the ministry, what is that called? Foreign Ministry, the Foreign Ministry of Russia actually came out. They're condemning the U.S.'s attacks on Venezuela, and they are calling for the immediate release of Maduro and his wife. Russia is calling for the immediate release of Maduro and his wife. Let's hear what the Foreign Minister has to say. Here you go. This is the Chinese embassy, actually. It says, Foreign Ministry spokesperson remarks on the U.S. military strikes on Venezuela. This is from China. It is reported that the U.S. launched military strikes on Venezuela, and Donald Trump posted on Truth Social that the U.S. has successfully carried out large-scale strikes against Venezuela, and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, along with his wife, have been taken and flown out of the country. What is China's comment? China is deeply shocked by and strongly condemns the U.S.'s blatant use of force against a sovereign state and action against its president. Such hegemonic acts of the U.S. seriously violate international law and Venezuela's sovereignty and threaten peace and security in Latin America and the Caribbean region. China firmly opposes it. We call on the U.S. to abide by international law and the purposes and principles of the UN Charter, and stop violating other countries' sovereignty and security. So that's what China is saying, man. China is deeply shocked, man. This is crazy, chat. So China's deeply shocked. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, chat. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. I'm trying to pull it up right quick on the fly. Oh, they're throwing eggs at the U.S. Embassy. Oh, also, it's just being reported that the plans for the secret U.S. raid to capture Maduro leaked to the Washington Post and the New York Times before it happened, but both decided not to publish it to protect U.S. troops. Like, what the fuck is going on? We already had the Signal Gate go on. What? Hold on. I gotta pull up the damn press conference. They're saying that this shit leaked to the Wall Street Journal. Who? The Washington Post and the New York Times. Well, Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, so I'm pretty sure he got enough money to get some insight. But let me see this, man. Let's pull up the damn video. Where is it at? Let's pull up the press conference because I want to know how the fuck the Wall Street Journal and New York Times got access to this strike an hour before it happened. What? Hold on, chat. Where is it at, man? All right, we'll watch this clip right here, and then I'll pull up the meeting with Hegseth and Trump, because the actual operation was a lot bigger than I thought it was when we reported it this morning. Hey, ain't nobody going to fucking Syracuse, man. I don't know why y'all sending me this ad, man. No disrespect to Syracuse, but nobody's fucking going there, man. We just gonna be all the way honest, man. Nobody's going to Syracuse right now.
I do want to go to Omar Jimenez, who is following these helicopters landing in New York, which you were
Thank you, Lala.
moments ago. Omar, what are you seeing?
Yeah, so you heard John Miller talking about 3 helicopters that took off from Newburgh, headed out this way. We just saw 3 helicopters land, matching roughly the time it would take to fly by helicopter here. What you're looking at right now is what has been an increased law enforcement, one that's increased pretty steadily over the last few hours since we've been out here. We actually have been pushed much further back. This is the
So I'm gonna keep it all the way real, chat, and I cannot sugarcoat this shit, man. With that $17.3 trillion of Venezuelan oil, put that on the balance sheet, man, that might offset some of that $40 trillion in debt. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Even if we sell it at if we sell it under market value at 50%, they're saying that's still about $8 trillion, man. That'll put a dent in that national debt. Let's see what's going on. Also, we have to see if they're gonna take control of the gold reserves as well. Venezuela has the largest gold reserves as well, man. This is imperialism at its finest. Trump's not bullshitting. He's ready to shut down the Americas. Before we get into this clip, though, I have to show y'all what Stephen Miller's wife posted, chat. I told you guys, this is the new Monroe Doctrine 2.0. Stephen Miller came out and said that Trump got all the power and can do this. Well, this is what the hell his wife is posting, man. His wife is letting us know what's going on, man. She's in the know. This is what the hell is going on, man. They got their eyes on Greenland next, man. You see this shit, man. They're talking about Canada's been pushed back to the 53rd state, man. They're going for Greenland first, man. Straight up. Telling y'all, that's part of that new Monroe Doctrine 2.0. That's part of that new Monroe Doctrine 2.0. Hold on. Shit is crazy, chat. Shit is crazy. She posted that, man. They're not even hiding it anymore. Nobody's bashful. In 2026, chat, nobody's bashful, man. All that bashful shit, all of that bashful shit was left in 2024. As soon as the election cycle started, man, that bashful shit was out of the window, man. It is what it is.
Helicopters landing in New York, which you were looking at just moments ago. Omar, what are you seeing?
Yeah, so you heard John Miller talking about 3 helicopters that took off from Newburgh, headed out this way. We just saw 3 helicopters land, matching roughly the time it would take to fly by helicopter here. What you're looking at right now is what has been an increased law enforcement, one that's increased pretty steadily over the last few hours since we've been out here. We actually have been pushed much further back. This is the heliport here where all of this, the variety of law enforcement, predominantly NYPD, but we've seen federal officers here as well, including...
You said Greenland we need for protection. Okay. What else you don't know the truth about? What the hell are you talking about? You said who believes in Jesus? I do. What are you talking about? What else you don't know the truth about? I know that they need Greenland. I looked into the Monroe Doctrine 2.0. I looked through that national defense budget of $900 billion. I know what the hell is going on. I seen Trump, what Trump wants. He's not making any damn concessions over the Panama Canal, Greenland, or the Caribbean. We see this shit happening in real time. Venezuela, checked off the box. Not only were we seizing the oil tanker, seizing the sanctioned oil, he said the whole 17 trillion in oil, we're going to control it, man. The shit's over with, man. The Panama Canal and shit, that shit's on lock. It's secure. Now we got our eyes on Greenland. We got the guy from Louisiana as a special envoy to Greenland, said, Denmark, y'all not spending no fucking money. Denmark gets upset, calls for the U.S. ambassador. That's what's going on in Greenland. Also, the Caribbean. Trump's not making any damn concessions over the Caribbean, man. We seen increased helicopter presence down there in Cuba. It's finna go on, man. It's about to go on. Secure the Americas, man. The new Monroe Doctrine 2.0 is like, look, man, get Europe the hell up out of here, man. Europe needs to just focus on whatever the hell's going over there. Let them deal with Ukraine. That's their bag. When it comes to these Americas, man, anything moving in these Americas, man, or this restoration of maritime dominance, anything moving in these waters over here, man, that's our shit, man. That's what's going on right now. Is it right? Is it wrong? I'm not here to talk about that tonight. I can only speak on what the hell we see going on, man. Restoration of maritime dominance, man. Anything moving in that waters, we need to know about. We got something to say about it. And the new Monroe Doctrine 2.0, man. Securing the damn America. Shutting this shit down. Oh, and they issued a warning. They issued a warning to Cuba, Colombia, and Mexico and put their ass on the clock too, chat. The White House, listen, man. They put Cuba, Colombia, and Mexico ass on the clock too, man. They not bullshitting right now, bro.
A mass of them that just came in within the last few minutes to this area as well. We're waiting to see. We can hear the helicopters. We saw them land just beyond our view here. 3 of them, it appeared. So we're waiting for them to go into what would be sort of this indoor area. And
you said, how do black economics benefit from this? I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just gonna be all the way real with you. Looks like oil and chicks finna get cheap. We might get gas down to $1.75. Maybe you start you a damn mobile van company or something, cause gas is gonna be so damn cheap that you can move shit across the middle of the United States for a lot less than you could a few months ago, man. I don't know, bro. I'm not a financial advisor. How does it help black economics, man? As Grok, man. As Grok what you should damn do. I don't know, bro.
Would come into presumably one of these vehicles where they would then go for processing here at a federal building in New York City. Now, for those that aren't familiar with sort of the geography of Manhattan and New York City, we are on the west side of Manhattan, what's known as the West Side Highway. Both lanes in both directions have been closed off by law enforcement to this point. This is typically a very busy area. We are now seeing lights from the New York Police Department turn on. That has not been the case previously to this point. We can still hear the motor of the helicopters to this, but I can't stress enough, this has been the highest level of law enforcement presence we have seen to this point, one that has been steadily increasing over the past few hours, Jessica.
Yeah, and Omar, what we see, the DEA agents there walking past the cameras as well. Okay, Omar, stay with us. Let's bring John Miller back in to help us understand what we're looking at here. John, Omar describing the scene. We are in the middle. It's actually very close to where we're broadcasting from right now. It's right behind our building. But we are in the middle of Manhattan where this is happening. Take us through what you're seeing.
You talk, if you think gas is going down, we a damn delusion. Man, listen, 3.3 billion barrels, some shit better go on. Listen, I just pumped some gas last week, man, for like $2.08, bruh. If I can't see $1.79, what I talked to my partner today, man. He military. He said, man, yeah, Trump finna get $1 gas. I said, man, ain't no way gas going to $1. He said, man, as long as it got a 1 is the first number, I'm cool with that. And I think that that's going to happen. Is it going to be $1 gas? Probably fucking not. But it's going to have a 1 in front of it, man. It ain't going to be this 2, 3 shit. It's going to be a 1 in front of that bad boy. I don't know where you live. Where I live, gas wasn't that high. Just told you. Last week I paid about $2.08, bro.
Seeing in this scene.
Well, what you're seeing is a joint force. You have DEA agents, FBI agents, and a contingent of NYPD people broken into specialized units.
How do you get one of these jobs? One of what kind of jobs? You talking about military? Hell, I don't know. Go to your local recruiter office. What kind of job you talking about? You talking about like what I do? Do they give training out for what I do? No, I just been running my mouth for a long fucking time, if you want to be honest. And I've been running my mouth in front of a camera for a long time too, bro. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I've been doing this shit for a while. When I first started out, did it flow this well? No, I had to realize that I do better when I do my damn research. When I find something and I read into it and I do deep dives and shit, that's when I do the best. That shit didn't come overnight. This flow, the intro, to what curating the show and shit, nah, man. How do you do what I do? You just press live, man, and get better, bro. You just press live and get better, bro.
That are going to make this critical move. Obviously, this is done under very tight security because you're dealing with an individual who is charged with being in league with some of the most violent drug cartels in the world, who is also a world leader in his own right, or was at least until this morning. But what you're looking at there is a armored vehicle that is what they call a Bearcat. This is an armored vehicle that contains what they call a CAT team, a counter-assault team, which is part of this motorcade. So you'll have a vehicle that will contain President Maduro and his wife, maybe in a separate vehicle. You'll have the escort vehicles, which are from NYPD's Highway Patrol. They have the route between where they are and the location they are going to frozen. As we watch that move out, we see the van, and then we're going to see the armored vehicle following that, which
John,
is the counter.
Man, I'm gonna tell y'all, whether gas goes up or gas goes down, that's a story. But it's looking like World War III might be getting ready to go the fuck on, man. And we don't want to be running low on that oil and shit. We want to have our ducks in a damn row, man. They're saying that right now, with us taking control of, well, the United States taking control of the Venezuelan oil and our alliance with the Saudis, between that alliance right there controls 50% of the oil in the world right now. Between America taking over Venezuela's reserves and the partnership we have with the Saudis, we're controlling about 50. That partnership, that allegiance controls about 50% of the oil globally, is what they're reporting.
Team.
They're driving to Brooklyn now? Is that the plan?
They're driving to a separate location. For security reasons, we're not going to get into that location on the air live, but that location is a secure law enforcement facility. They are going to go through the booking process there, and then they are going to go to that other location. So you see the armored vehicles, you see the van, you see the ambulance, which is part of the contingent because they've already, had to deal with some medical issues along the way.
It is pretty remarkable. I want to go to Omar for a second as we're watching this happen. Omar, this is a Saturday night in Manhattan.
Y'all talking about I'm moving the goalpost. How the hell am I moving the goalpost? I don't have nobody on the phone line. This is not a debate. This shit is not up for debate. The shit is taken, man. Whether gas is going up or down, it goes up tomorrow. We'll find out tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the first day that the markets are going to react to what the hell is going on. So all of this shit will be solved tomorrow. Once the markets react to that shit. Sunday, the markets are supposed to, what is it? I don't know what time it is, but Sunday, the markets are going to react to this shit here, man. I'm not moving the goalposts. I have nobody on the line. This shit's not a debate. Yeah, let me stop, man.
This is just an incredible law enforcement, likely again with the now ousted president of Venezuela having traveled here. Just describe the scene for us. This is somewhat surreal.
Hey, look, Chad, I need everybody to double tap the screen. Whether you agree with what the hell I'm saying or you disagree with what the hell I'm saying. Hey, you're in here, man. Southern Hospitality. I say hey, you say hey. Double tap the screen. Share the live out. We're 25 subscribers away from the next goal, man. Press 1 if you're having a good time.
It really is. And for those that have even just been passing by on the street, I mean, you see a lot of things in New York City, but the amount of police and law enforcement presence just in this part of Manhattan is even mind-blowing for those that live here in the city. And if you were following that the motorcade essentially that appeared to hold Maduro and his wife, but they have all cleared out of this area. It was that quick. And I can tell you, when we were a little bit...
So my partner asked me a question earlier. My partner, that's in the military. He said, do I think that they're going to let Maduro's wife go? Do I think Maduro's wife is going to tell on him and let him go? I was telling him that I don't think so. I think she's cooked. I think she's gonna get her she's gonna get a whole lot of time too. I'm just gonna be all the way honest. I don't think there's anything that they want her to say to them. I think she's cooked, bro. I'm just gonna be all the way honest with you. So what do y'all think? I said all that to say, what do y'all think? Do y'all think Maduro's wife is ever set free, or is she done? Done or free in the comments for Maduro's wife. I think she's done.
Earlier in the day, we were able to get basically right up to the heliport area. We saw them sort of...
And I know in America, I don't know if this is state court or federal court. I don't know how it goes. But if you're married, you can't testify on your partner. If you're married, you can't testify on your partner in some courts. Now, does it apply here? I don't know. There's some international shit. I don't know, chat. But I still think she's cooked, man. She's done. I don't think she's gonna see the light of day anymore.
What appeared to be tracing a path from the exit of the heliport through the gate over there, and the way they positioned their vehicles, it appeared that it was just going to be a very...
You said they're gonna set him up a penthouse somewhere, house arrest, man. XX, man, that shit's cooked. He's going to ADX Florence, Supermax, man, where they had Larry Hoover and El Chapo and them, man. He's going to ADX Florence, Supermax. An example, the member of the, what do they call it? The Alcatraz of the mountains or the Rockies or whatever they call. Man, Maduro and his wife are on their way to ADX Florence, Supermax after their sentence, man. Right now they might be cool at, I don't know if they're gonna be at MD or MCI, wherever the fuck they had Diddy and Sam Altman at. They might be over there for a little while, man. But when that time come down, man, they are finna send this dude to the Supermax, bruh. And it's only one Supermax, man, in the feds, man, and that's ADX Florence, man. His ass is on the way to Colorado, man.
Transfer from that heliport into the vehicles, pull out, and that is exactly what we just saw happen a few minutes ago.
Thank you, Lala.
And as you saw, the level of law enforcement presence just going down the West Side Highway from the armored vehicles to that variety of law enforcement, it's astounding to see.
She facing the same charges he is. I believe it's drug and weapons trafficking. I believe she's facing the same charges he is, drug and weapons trafficking.
On a city street here in New York.
And Trump is trying to put all, now I don't know about the courts, what the courts have to say, but Trump is trying to put all the overdoses on him. And he said, don't forget about all the murders. He was like, this guy was guilty of a bunch of murders, man. So Trump is trying to put a bunch of murders on this guy, man. And people have been sent to ADX Florence Supermax for way less, man. Let's be real. They're treating this guy like a narco-terrorist. They're treating Maduro like he was the head of the narco-terrorism going on over there. They're finna give this guy the El Chapo treatment, bro. Probably worse because he had the whole fucking... See, El Chapo didn't have a formal role as running Mexico. There was actually a president and some more shit, man. Maduro was in charge, man. He was the face of this shit, and they're labeling him a narco-terrorist, man. They finna send his ass to ADX Supermax Florence, 23-1, man. His ass gonna get real light-skinned because he won't get a lot of sun, man. It's over. It's cooked. And why is his wife going down with him? Because she laid up with him and let him stroke her all the damn time. I don't know if they got kids or not, but she laid up with him. She was there for the conversations and heard all the talks and shit. She probably was hitting some licks too, man, wrapping some bricks or selling, I don't know, man, but her ass going to jail too, man. And they might not let her tell, or they gonna use her for leverage to damn tell. But I don't even think they care about Maduro telling anymore. I really don't, because Maduro was ready to make a deal. They said Maduro already had bought some property in Dubai. Maduro was ready to give up the oil and retire to Dubai, where he couldn't get fucked with, man. Trump didn't want that. What did Trump say? Trump said he wanted to make a deal in the end. I didn't want to make a deal. He said, I didn't want to make a deal. His ass going to Florence, ADX, Supermax is over with, man. We'll holler at you in 100 years, Maduro. It's over with, man.
That certainly is. I want to go back to John Miller.
Thank you, Lala.
I have another logistical question for him, John, which is, when I lived in D.C., you were used to seeing motorcades, and they were very used to clearing streets there. Obviously, New York can do that because it gets its fair share of dignitaries as well. But to move through the New York streets like this, what does that take for law enforcement? How do they keep everybody safe?
In New York City, and I say that as someone who used to be in charge of these movements for various presidents, including presidents of the United States, this is a very experienced team. The NYPD Highway Patrol team is used to being able to freeze a route or navigate a route that's unfrozen. In this case, the route between where they landed and where they're going was frozen. They have a lot of experience in that. And
listen, Chad. This was probably the biggest heist in history. America just pulled off the biggest damn heist in history. I'm just going to be all the way honest with you. The biggest heist in history. But they spent a lot of money getting Maduro the fuck up out of there. And in the public's eye, they're going to have to justify, because they can't just tell us like, hey, we hit for $17 million worth of oil. They got to dress that shit up. Got to dress it up a little bit. Like, hey, we'll control it. We'll make sure everything's good. They got to dress the shit up, man. But what they can say is, man, look, we had all of these damn ships in the water, all of these damn helicopters flying around, and these world-class military officers running through doing these missions, and it cost us about $5 to $7 million a day, man. Maduro, your ass is finna pay for that in hard time, man. Straight up, they are finna cook Maduro, bro. Cooking, bro. Fry. Man, I think they finna give Maduro some crazy shit, bro. Like a few life sentences, man. 100 years, man. They gonna torture Maduro in there, bro. Like, let's be all the way real, Chad. That shit goes on in jail. It goes on in the county jail. It goes on in the state pen. It goes on in the feds, man. They finna torture the shit out Maduro, bro. God, they finna do Maduro so bad in there.
That's for dignitaries. This is different, Jessica. This is a high-threat prisoner charged in a major narcotics trafficking case who happens to be formally, as a few hours ago, president of a sovereign nation in our region. So that is very... And
this is another reason they have to send him to Supermax. Maduro, they're labeling Maduro a narco-terrorist, gang, cartel leader type figure. Bigger than a cartel leader because he was the leader of a country, actually. They're calling this regime illegitimate. They cannot let Maduro go to a regular penitentiary, bro. Maduro go to a regular feds, man, they might shut that bitch down. It might be a riot the day Maduro step onto the damn premises, man. The day Maduro step onto the premises, it might just go down in that bitch, man. They gotta send him to the Supermax, bro. They have to, man. Maduro having too much pull, bro. He having too much pull, man. I don't know if y'all believe it or not, man, but Maduro's having too much pull to be in a regular federal penitentiary, man. They gotta send him to ADX, man. Supermax influence. They have to.
Similar to what they did with the El Chapo situation, where you had the head of a major cartel. This is the kind of person that had a lot of money behind them, the resources to arrange people who could either attack such a motorcade, try to free a prisoner, try to stage a breakout. So layers and layers and layers are added on. We saw a lot of them right there in terms of the...
You said, what about the Honduras president that was actually a drug smuggler and Trump pardoned him? To each his own, man. Payola, he got up out of there, man. Maduro does not get the same opportunity. He will not be afforded the same opportunity, man. Whatever the Honduras president had going on, smuggling drugs, that shit, it wasn't important, man. It didn't come with a $17 trillion price tag, man. Obviously, man. hey, I'm not here to take a moral ground and to say what was right tonight. I'm here to report the news and tell y'all what the hell I think's finna go on, man. Honduran's president, he's pardoned. He's twiddling his fucking toes. He's getting fed grapes and shit, probably snorting off a key right now, man. It is what it is. Maduro, on the other hand, is in New York, probably at the damn holding facility that they had Diddy and them at, Diddy and Sam Altman, getting ready to stand trial, man, and carry his ass to Colorado, man, to the Alcatraz and the Rockies. I can't speak on Honduras president, man. Unfortunate event. Should he be in jail? It is what it is. Probably, man. But is he in jail? No. He's twiddling his toes, living a good life, and Maduro is finna get snowed in, man. Literally, snowed in.
The armored vehicle, the counter-assault team, in case there was an assault on motorcade, the numerous blockages of traffic between where they are and where they're going. But that is something that they've experienced, and you will see that as they move from that jail to the court for the arraignment on Monday. And if there's a trial, you may see it on a daily basis.
Right. It's really fascinating. All right, John, thank you. I do wanted to go to Jim Sciutto as well as we're watching this play out. Jim?
Jessica, I would just say we have to remember how we got to this moment of those helicopters landing on the West Side Highway. Nicolas Maduro was president of Venezuela.
It's crazy because it's the fentanyl, and that's the driving factor, because cocaine been coming through forever. We had the war on drugs for a long damn time, if y'all want to be all the way honest. What I'm surprised about is like all of the death. Like when we talk about Mexico, all of the death leading up to the elections, how many people got unalived? Like 38 people. Then like a month ago, the one guy that was standing up against the Mexican president, he gets gunned down at a damn wherever they were at, some little event. Then we have a Mexican millionaire get 200 shots sent through his Lamborghini Urus the other day because he didn't want to pay the cartel for protection. It's like, it's a lot going on, man. I'm just going to be all the way honest with y'all. It's a lot going on. I don't want to go to Mexico right now. I used to want to visit Mexico, man. I don't want to go over there right now. 38 people died leading up to the damn elections, man. This shit is crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Latin American country of tens of millions of people until this morning, when he and his wife were taken out of their bedroom by the U.S. Delta Force.
And then we're not going to act like Maduro didn't throw the Colombian president under the bus yesterday. Maduro was in that car, and what did he say? Oh, the drugs, we're part of we're victims in this shit too. Colombia's sending the drugs, and we're victims in this shit too, man. All of the drugs are made in Colombia. I have no knowledge. We're victims too, man. He threw Colombia's president under the bus after Colombia's president stood with him, man. It is what it is, though, man. It's a dirty game out here. It's a dirty game.
In a highly complex military operation to, in effect, decapitate the leadership of a major country in Latin America. It is a remarkable, I don't say ending, but just next chapter, right? This arrival in New York for prosecution in an enormous event with a whole long list of questions still to be answered. One of the most prominent of which is who's going to replace Nicolas Maduro, and who does the U.S., which carried out this operation, want to replace Nicolas Maduro? Because it was...
Well, they say the opposition leader, that's the woman that won the Nobel Peace Prize, wasn't it? But Trump said the vice president is good. I think I seen a clip where they were saying, Trump was saying that the vice president is supposedly, good. So it's looking like the vice president is going to step right into that role. And if they're saying the vice president is going to step right into that role, the vice president got that $50 million. I'm just going to be all the way honest with you. Maduro had a $50 million bounty on his head, man, captured, whatever, man. If Trump is about to put the vice president, the vice president of Venezuela in power, he sold Maduro out, man. Sold him out for leadership, power, and a $50 million kickback, man. It is what it is. Sold his ass out, man.
Of the Trump administration till a short time ago, till weeks, perhaps months ago, that it should be the opposition. For instance, the Nobel Prize winner, Maria Corina Machado, and there were public statements of support. Those have waned, and today, this morning, the president, as he announced this operation and Maduro's removal, was praising Maduro's deputy, the vice president of that country, Delcy Rodriguez, saying that she wants to do everything she can.
Right. Okay, Carlos, you said the vice president is female. That's cool. But isn't the opposition leader a female as well? Right. Let me look it up. Let me see. Yeah, the Venezuela opposition leader, she's the one who won the Nobel Peace Prize. That's what y'all talking about. The lady that won the Nobel Peace Prize, she's the opposition leader. But there's also the vice president that's already under the Maduro regime that Trump is spoke on. And I think that's who's going to take over, is the lady that the vice president already, man. And, yeah, if that's what's going on, then she sold Maduro the fuck out for that $50 million.
And I'm paraphrasing to some degree here, to make Venezuela great again. This is quite remarkable if that would be this administration's position, to prosecute Maduro, bring him to the U.S., replace him with a vice president from that same regime. We'll see. And then we'll also see what the U.S. investment is going to be in assuring such a transition or moving on to new elections. He says he's willing to put U.S. troops on the ground. How many and for how long? Remarkable several hours here, given what we're seeing now in New York, but what it means for what Maduro left behind.
All right, Chad, hold on. Trump, we finna get into this Trump headset today because Trump did speak on Mexico as well. So yeah, that's why I said Mexico is pretty much on the clock. Greenland is also on the clock. Greenland and Mexico on the clock right now. Cuba's probably on the clock as well.
Appreciate you being here. Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary...
Oh, chat, before we get into this, I need everybody to double tap the screen. That's how you support the channel for free, is by just double tapping the screen. And we're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. You subscribe at the top of the damn phone. Subscribe at the top of the phone. We go live every single day over here talking politics, entertainment, and current events, man. Subscribe to the channel.
Military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones, like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as...
Iran is going nuts right now, chat. I'm not gonna lie, Iran is going nuts. It's there's one page on X, I think she's like a Iranian Jew. She's like number 17 on Iran's most wanted list, but she's been posting, and she posted this girl that was 22 years old that got shot in the face by I guess the Iranian government. She got shot in the face on like the 31st and has been fighting for her life, and I think she succumbed to her injuries on today or yesterday. But yeah, it's some crazy shit. I got the clips and shit. We'll play it in a second. But yeah, Iran's going crazy right now. They're rioting, throwing shit. They're out in the streets in their cars. I think it's 91 cities. The riots are broken out across 91 cities. The police are firing, or the government, whoever it is, are firing live rounds into these crowds. At least 10 deaths have occurred. One being that 22-year-old girl that was shot in the face, allegedly. Well, actually, it's confirmed.
Midnight hammer, all perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuela.
You said the U.S. needs to get another election started ASAP. I don't think they're up for any elections down there. It looks like Trump has they're gonna do succession. They're not gonna do an election. It looks like they're gonna do succession, and the vice president, Trump, is gonna allow. Y'all see how I'm saying that? Trump is going to allow the vice president to take control of the country, is what it's looking like.
Well, in military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York, Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, like never before. These highly...
Chat, push 1 in the chat if you think this is a distraction from the Epstein list. Press 2 if you don't. I'm going to be honest. I don't think this is a distraction from the Epstein list at all. I think this has been on the agenda for a while. I feel like it was a now or never moment with China announcing those hypersonic missiles that I tell y'all about, and with the Chinese diplomats over there talking strategy yesterday. They were talking security guarantees. We couldn't allow China to go over there into Venezuela, talk security guarantees after they just announced this hypersonic missile for $100,000 price tag, man. We couldn't allow that shit, man. If they were going to go get this oil and take this $17 trillion, hit this big lick, as I would call it, hit this $17 trillion lick, they couldn't let China pump those hypersonic missiles over there to Venezuela for $100,000. They'll probably be getting them at a premium at like $75K or some shit like that, because we know China gets that oil at a discount, not a premium, a discount. I mean, straight up, chat. There was a now or never moment, man.
Trade warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in what's called a ready position. But they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly.
See, this is what I'm trying to get everyone to understand. The days of the old media, that C-SPAN bullshit where everybody's whispering and quiet and talking all proper, that shit's gone. I just seen the White House post a video of Maduro saying, "If you want me, then come get me, damn it." And they put a damn song behind it, Biggie Smalls or whatever, and they didn't even put the edited version on there, man. They had Biggie Smalls on the White House official page saying nigga and some more shit, man. Saying nigga, fucked around and found out. He was like, fuck around and find out. Then they dropped the Biggie Smalls, Biggie back there rapping, saying nigga and shit. This is on the White House official page, man. This shit is crazy, bro. Crazy.
Incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far. With capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think the fallout from this would be what it's shaping up to be. I think China takes Taiwan this year. I don't think they wait. I think the timeline is accelerated now. The timeline is extremely accelerated now because we just took $60 billion. I mean, we just took $17 trillion worth of oil to control it. China is still owed $60 billion. Now, Trump says he has a good relationship with Xi. He's going to try to probably negotiate that. He's going to dangle that over Xi's head. Like, look, man, we know you're in Venezuela for about $60 billion, but that oil was ours. It was always ours. So Trump's going to try to do something. I think that before the end of this year, China goes in and takes Taiwan. They have to. I'm not even saying that they have to because it's a show of force, man. Like, he's touting that we have the best, the strongest military in the world, man. Basically putting everybody ass on the clock. Putin's coming out saying they're demanding, well, not Putin, but the foreign ministry of China and Russia's foreign ministry, they're demanding the immediate release of Maduro and his wife. They're demanding the immediate release of them, man. Something is going to go on. I think it's going to be China going to get Taiwan immediately. Immediately, man. Immediately. Probably, yeah, before the end of this year for sure, man. Before the end of this year for sure. Maybe not the first half of this year, but before the end of this year.
There's no equipment like what we have, and you see that even if you just look at the boats. You know, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills on average 25,000 people. We knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country. And
hey, Greenland, y'all ass on the clock, man. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm not saying that to be insensitive. I'm just calling it how I see it, man. You hear how this man just said, we're going to control? Listen to this man, bro. Y'all think this sound like the kind of people that's up for asking, man? Hey, man, do you think these... Listen.
So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation. Even if you just look at the boats, you know, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills on average 25,000 people. We knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as...
Man, listen, Greenland, man, I'm sorry. Y'all ass on the clock. Trump over here, man, he talking about he finna run the country, man. Until such time that we can see a judicious transfer of power, man. Straight up. He just told Denmark, y'all not spending no money. We need Greenland. It's strategic, is what Trump said. The U.S. needs Greenland. It's strategic. We have this new Monroe Doctrine. The timeline is accelerated. And Denmark, y'all aren't spending no fucking money. Denmark gets mad, rightfully so, and calls for a U.S. ambassador. Then we have Katie Miller, Stephen Miller's wife, posting a picture of Greenland painted in the U.S. flag, talking about the 51st state, talking about whole Canada. Y'all need to wait. It's crazy.
We can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real, man. Like I had to just go look, man. We can't even debate. This shit's not even up for debate anymore. Like, when he dropped that Monroe Doctrine 2.0, they said it had a neo-imperialistic approach, man. Look, this shit is imperialism, man. Straight up. What Trump got going on right now, like it, love it, hate it, I'm going to call this shit how I see it, man. This shit is imperialism, man. It's imperialism, dog. And it's nothing new to me. I feel like shit, it's been kind of imperialistic around this motherfucker. It's just right now it's stomped down. You know how sometimes, I'm not even going to make that analogy. Right now it's just stomped down imperialism. And listen, Trump care about the Venezuelan people as long as he got his hands in that $17 trillion pot, man. Listen, man, if his hands wasn't in that $17 trillion pot, man, Trump wouldn't give a fuck about them Venezuelans, man. Let's be all the way real, man. Trump wouldn't give a fuck about the Venezuelans, man. He except wouldn't give a fuck about, man, nobody would give a damn about the Venezuelans if it weren't for them $17 trillion pot, man. Let's be all the way real.
We're there now, but we're...
Wouldn't give a fuck if they was happy, sad, mad, glad. Wouldn't care, man. Y'all remember when he went down there and was throwing that toilet paper at them people, man? Wasn't that Trump throwing the toilet paper at them people?
Going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust.
This man said, go work, brokey. Boy, I worked 10 hours today, man. Kiss my ass and hold my nuts, man. Somebody get a road to freedom the hell up out of here. You are now set free. Swipe up on the live, pick up them rainbow flip-flops on your way out, pussy.
Bust for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually. This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what...
Hey, man, that man said a country that everybody wants to be involved with, man. Now, everybody, you had it right, man. Everybody wants Venezuela, man. That's why you took control of it, man. Let's just be all the way real, Trump, man.
Able to do and accomplish.
China want it. Russia want it. We got it right about now.
Will make the people of Venezuela
America has it.
Rich, independent, and safe. And it will also make the many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore. The illegitimate dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solas, which flooded our nation with lethal poison, responsible for the deaths of countless Americans, the many, many Americans, hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of him. Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. They're on a ship they'll be heading to, ultimately, New York. And then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida. But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law. And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take place. For many years after his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence, terror, and subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only our people, but the stability of the entire region. And you all saw it. In addition to trafficking gigantic amounts of illegal drugs that inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over in particular the United States, Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide. And he did indeed. They were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes. They cut the fingers off people if they called police. They were brutal. But they're not so brutal now. And I just have to congratulate our military, Pete, and everybody, and our National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's in Washington, D.C., where we have a totally safe city, where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly, and now we have no crime in Washington, D.C. We haven't had a killing. We had the terrorist attack a few weeks ago. A little bit of a different kind of a threat, but we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have on average two a week in our capital. We don't have that anymore. The restaurants are opening. Everyone's happy. They're going, they're walking their daughters, they're walking their children, their wives. They walk to restaurants. Restaurants are opening all over Washington, D.C. So I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank our military. And I want to thank law enforcement. It's been amazing. And they should do it with more cities. We're doing it, as you know, and we're doing it in Memphis, Tennessee right now, and crime is down. We've just sort of started a few weeks ago, but crime is down now 77%. And the governor of
Trump just talking. Y'all said they ate the zoo animals. Who ate the zoo animals?
Be writing about it. And likewise, Los Angeles, where we saved Los Angeles early on, where the head of the police department made a statement that if the federal government didn't come in, we would have lost Los Angeles. That's long after the fires. That's when they had the riots in Los Angeles. We did a great job. Got no credit for it whatsoever, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We don't need the credit. But we'll be pulling out when they need us. They'll call, or we'll go back if we have to. We'll go back. But we did a great job in various cities. But the place that we're very proud of is Washington, D.C., because it's our nation's capital. We took it from being a crime-ridden mess to being one of the safest cities in the country. But the gangs that they sent raped, tortured, and murdered American women and children. They were in all of the cities I mentioned, Tren de Aragua. And they were sent by Maduro to terrorize our people, and now Maduro will never again be able to threaten.
Chat. Double tap the screen, shut the live out. We're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. Do you agree with us taking control of the $17.3 trillion worth of oil in Venezuela? Yes or no in the chat. Do you support it? Yes or no?
American citizen or anybody from Venezuela, there will no longer be threats. For years I've highlighted the stories of those innocent Americans whose lives were so heartlessly robbed by this Venezuelan terrorist organization. Really one of the worst. One of the worst, they say the worst. Americans like 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari from Houston. Beautiful Jocelyn Nungari, what happened to her? They, as you know, they kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered in Nicaragua. Animals, they murdered Jocelyn and left her dead under the bridge. There was a bridge that will never be the same to so many people after seeing what happened. As I've said many times, the Maduro regime emptied out their prisons, sent their worst and most violent monsters into the United States to steal American lives. And they came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They came from prisons and jails. The reason I say both, they sound similar. Actually, prisons a little bit more hostile, a little bit tougher. A mental institution isn't as tough as an insane asylum, but we got them both. They sent from their mental institutions, they sent from their jails, prisons. They were drug dealers, they were drug kingpins, they sent everybody bad into the United States. But no longer, and we have now a border where nobody gets through. In addition, Venezuela unilaterally seized and stole American oil, American assets, and American platforms, costing us billions and billions of dollars. They did this a while ago, but we never had a president that did anything about it. They took all of our property. It was our property. We built it. And we never had a president that decided to do anything about it. Instead, they fought wars that were 10,000 miles.
Now you guys see why I said it was a soft launch, not lunch, a soft launch. Come out, it's tough on border security, come out and say it wasn't anything about Maduro. It was they emptied their prisons on our borders. The worst of the worst criminals, the Venezuelan gangs. They emptied out their prisons on our borders. It was never just a Maduro thing. But moving on. Then you got the Venezuelan gangs, quote unquote, taking over the apartments in Chicago and doing this and doing that, right? Then you get the drug boats and blowing it out the water. So you see, like, oh shit, that's what's going on. Then you see the oil tanker seized, but they give you some background like, hey, look, we didn't put sanctions on this oil tanker. The Biden administration put sanctions on this oil tanker and just never did anything about it. We get the sanctioned oil tanker, $300 million oil tanker, 1.9 million barrels of oil. But we hear Kristi Noem say, yes, we got that sanctioned oil. My ears perked up like oil sanction. I thought it was the sanctioned oil tanker. After that moment, from that moment forward, it was never about sanctioned oil tankers anymore. It was desanctioned oil. And now Trump's coming here saying that it was ours to begin with. They did it. It happened a long time ago. Nobody did anything about it. Yes, it was about this the whole time. Whether it was the drug boats, it was a plethora of things that led up to the $17 trillion lick. That would listen, man. China was finna put them hypersonic missiles over there, so the timeline sped up for this $17 trillion lick, man. It was a soft launch.
Miles away, we built Venezuela oil industry with American talent, drive, and skill, and the socialist regime stole it from us during those previous administrations, and they stole it through force. This constituted one of the largest thefts of American property in the history of our country. Considered the largest theft of property in the history of our country.
So he's saying that we didn't steal shit as America. America took it back. He's saying that Venezuela stole it. And now everybody in my chat, a lot of y'all are saying America stole it. So answer in the chat, who stole the oil, chat? Did America steal the oil or did Venezuela steal the oil? Or did they both steal the oil?
Massive oil.
God dang, chat. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta get back to that clip, man. Give me 1 second, chat. Y'all answer in the chat. Double tap the screen, share the live out. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal.
Late last night and early today, at my direction, Furthermore, under the now deposed dictator Maduro, Venezuela was increasingly hosting foreign adversaries in our region, and acquiring menacing offensive weapons that could threaten U.S. interests and lives. Weapons last night.
Hold on, chat. Let me make sure I'm back live because I need everybody to get to the. They knew I was finna talk my shit, man. They knew Plug was finna come in here and talk his damn shit, bro. That's why they messed up the live to where I had to reset it, man. Press 1 if I'm back, chat. Press 1 and don't go nowhere because I'm finna run my fucking mouth, man. Because everybody was in here saying I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about and shit like that, man. Whether it's true, whether it's not, I can't even read the chat right now. Let me get this shit up, man. Are we back live or what, bro? Hold on, man. Let me pull the chat back up, man. Where the hell is the chat at, man? This shit is crazy, bro. Wild. 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 What did he say? Foreign adversaries increasing threat. They're getting offensive weapons. China was just over there yesterday, man. The China diplomats was just over there yesterday, man. I said the hypersonic missiles, man. Soon as China dropped the hypersonic missiles is when we put those blockades there and shit. The timeline was accelerated because China does everything as corporate, government, whatever. The damn, I don't forget what the hell they call it, man. What it CCP, whatever it is, man, that they call it shit, man. But they let a private company announce these rockets. China doesn't do that, man, especially when it comes to military weapons and shit. They don't really let private companies announce that type of shit. So when I seen the private company announce that they're making hypersonic missiles for $100,000 and made out of concrete and other components and shit, then we get a blockade and within the same 3 days to a week, it's like, what? And I come over here and I relay this to y'all. Nobody fucking believes me. Nobody fucking believes me, bruh. I said this shit a damn month ago, bruh. I've been hollering this shit all fucking month, and it takes Maduro to have his ass in New York to get some damn confirmation. It's crazy, bruh. We gotta wait till Maduro ass is on his way to FDC, whatever the hell it's called, Florence, man, to get some damn confirmation.
America will never allow foreign powers to rob our people of
this shit is crazy.
Back into and out of our own hemisphere. That's what they did. Furthermore, under the now deposed dictator Maduro, Venezuela was increasingly hosting foreign adversaries in our region and acquiring menacing offensive weapons that could threaten U.S. interests and lives. And they used those weapons last night. Potentially in league with the cartels operating along our border. All of these actions were in gross violation of the core principles of American foreign policy, dating back more than 2 centuries, and not anymore. All the way back, it dated to the Monroe Doctrines, and the Monroe Doctrine is a big deal, but we've superseded it by a lot, by a real lot. I'll call it the Monroe Document, I don't know.
The Monroe?
Monroe Doctrine. We sort of forgot about it. It was very important, but we forgot about it. We don't forget about it anymore. Under our new national security strategy,
that mean Greenland ass is on the clock. You see how he's touting this Monroe Doctrine. This is one thing off of the checklist. There's 2 more things that Trump really wants. It's really 3, but 2 that is actually what he said, man. He got the Panama Canal because he got Venezuela locked down, man. Greenland ass is on the clock. Greenland is next. The Caribbean, I'm assuming it'll probably be Cuba. Y'all ass on the clock too, man. But we see he just came out and put Colombia, Mexico, and Cuba all ass on the list. That's what's going on, man. He trying to shut down the Americas. This shit is imperialism now, man. I don't know if y'all realize this shit or not, man. But it's imperialism right now, man. This is what the fuck is going on. This is the new reality here.
Dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. Won't happen. So just in concluding, for decades, other administrations have neglected or even contributed to these growing security threats in the West.
Nah, hell no, man. This shit is imperialism, man. Let me pull up the actual definition. maintaining and extending power over foreign nations, particularly through expansionism, employing both hard power, military and economic power, and soft power, diplomatic power, and cultural imperialism. Imperialism focuses on establishing and maintaining hegemony and more formal empire. Man, this is what the fuck is going on right now, man. This shit, you're not gonna try to tell me this shit. Here's nationalism now. Now listen, chat, I gotta keep it real. This shit is imperialism, man. Like it, love it, or hate it. That's what the fuck is going on here. And I need you guys to grasp that concept.
Western Hemisphere. The Trump administration, we are reasserting American power in a very powerful way in our home region. And our home region is very different than it was just a short while ago. The future will be, and we did this in my first term. We had great dominance in my first term, and we have far greater dominance right now. Everyone's coming back to us. The future will be determined by the ability to protect commerce and territory and resources that are core to national security. These are core to our national security. Just like tariffs they've made our country rich, and they've made our national security stronger than ever before. But these are the iron laws that have always determined global power. We're going to keep it that way. We will secure our borders, we will stop the terrorists, we will crash the cartels, and we will defend our citizens against all threats, foreign and domestic. Other presidents may have lacked the courage or whatever to defend America, but I will never allow terrorists and criminals to operate with impunity against the United States. This extremely successful operation should serve as warning to anyone who would threaten American sovereignty or endanger American lives. Very importantly, the embargo on all Venezuelan oil remains in full effect. The American armada remains poised in position, and the United States retains all military options until United States demands have been fully met and fully satisfied. All political and military figures in Venezuela should understand what happened to Maduro can happen to them, and it will happen to them if they aren't just fair, even to their people. The dictator and terrorist, Maduro, finally gone in Venezuela. People are free. They're free again. It's been a long time for them, but they're free. America is a safer nation this morning. It's a prouder nation this morning because it didn't allow this horrible person and this country that was doing very bad things to us. It didn't allow it to happen. And the Western Hemisphere is right now a much safer place to be. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank General Raisin Kane. He's a fantastic man. I've worked with a lot of generals. I worked with some I didn't like. I worked with some I didn't respect. I worked with some that just weren't good. But this guy is fantastic. I watched last night one of the most precise attacks on sovereignty. I mean, it was an attack for justice. And I'm very proud of him, and I'm very proud of our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, who I'm going to ask to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, can you explain how the U.S. will run Venezuela?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Finally, a commander-in-chief the world respects and the American people deserve. And as the President said, words can barely capture the bravery and the power and the precision of this historic operation. A massive joint military and law enforcement raid flawlessly executed by the greatest Americans our country has to offer. American warriors are second to none, the best in the world and the best of our country. What all of us witnessed last night was sheer guts and grit, gallantry, and glory of the American warrior. I'm simply humbled by such men. And I tip my hat to our chairman, Dan Raisin Kane, and all those Americans who stood watch last night. Our warriors are the elite of America, and again, President Trump has your back. No other country on planet Earth, and it's not even close, could pull this kind of operation off. And no other president has ever shown this kind of leadership, courage, and resolve. The most powerful combination the world has ever seen. As the president said, our adversaries remain on notice. America can project our will.
So yeah, I talked to a couple of my military friends, man, and he's excited, man. I'm just gonna be all the way real, man. He's ready to sign back up, man. I'm just gonna be all the way real with you right now. He's ready to sign back up, man. My other military partners are just like, man, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. It's crazy.
Anywhere, anytime. The coordination, the stealth, the lethality, the precision, the very long arm of American justice, all on full display in the middle of the night. Nicolas Maduro had his chance, just like Iran had their chance, until they didn't and until he didn't. He effed around and he found out. President Trump is deadly serious about stopping the flow of...
See, that's the difference. You said you're in a live stream with a guy named Plug, quote unquote. I'm trying to help him understand it's not imperialistic, it's safety. It can be safety and imperialistic. I just read you the definition of imperialism, like controlling a foreign nation. Venezuela is not America. Venezuela is not America, and he just said we're going to control the country. What the fuck more do you want to me to give you to say it's imperialism? The guy said we're going to control the country until we can judicially transfer power. Yes, I never said it wasn't safety. It is safety. I've actually been over here championing it, that it's safety, man. China's getting the damn hypersonic missiles, and if Venezuela gets a lot of those over here, that's going to be a problem. I've been saying that for a month. You're new here. But what you're not going to do is try to gaslight me or whatever and say that this shit is not imperialism when I just read the fucking definition, bro. That's what you're not going to do.
Gangs and violence to our country. Deadly serious about stopping the flow of drugs and poison to our people. Deadly serious about getting back the oil that was stolen from us. And deadly serious about reestablishing American deterrence and dominance in the Western Hemisphere. This is about the safety, security, freedom, and prosperity of the American people. This is America first. This is peace through strength. And the United States War Department is proud to help deliver it. Welcome to 2026, and under President Trump, America is back. I'd like to welcome...
What's even more crazy is an account that was made a few days, not even that long ago, bet a lot of money that there will be regime change in Venezuela by, I guess, the end of the month or by a certain day. And that account made $400,000 like that, man. The account was fresh, new, just got on there, had only made like 2 or 3 trades, and within the first 2 or 3 trades, they hit for $400,000 on this Venezuelan regime change. Insider trading, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, though.
Now, our chairman, Raisin Kane, to give a few more details about the operation. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you, Mr. President.
Solo, what it do?
Last night, on the order of the President of the United States, and in support of a request from the Department of Justice, as the President said, the United States military conducted an apprehension mission in Caracas, Venezuela, to bring to justice 2 indicted persons, Nicolas and Cecilia Maduro. This operation, known as Operation Absolute Resolve, was discreet, precise, and conducted during the darkest hours of January.
Nah, I didn't see it, Solo. Thank you for your donation, Solo. I appreciate it, man. If you had a comment or something you wanted to make with it, just let me know. Type it in the chat and I'll let the chat know. But thank you for your continued support, Solo, man. I've been locked in trying to relay these messages, man, and break this shit all the way down. We haven't even got into Iran yet, man. We still on Venezuela and we an hour and a half in. We'll get on Iran probably at the 2-hour mark.
2nd and was the culmination of months of planning and rehearsal, an operation that frankly only the United States military could undertake. What I'd like to do this morning is talk to you through some of the preparation and the details without compromising any of our tactics, techniques, and procedures. There is always a chance
Corey World, what
we'll
it
be
do?
tasked to do this type of mission again. Our interagency work began months ago and built on decades of experience of integrating complex air, ground, space, and maritime operations. While the past 2 decades have honed the skills of our special operations forces, this particular mission required every component of our joint force, with soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Guardians working in unison with our intelligence agency partners and law enforcement teammates in an unprecedented operation. We leveraged our unmatched intelligence capabilities and our years of experience in hunting terrorists, and we could not have done this mission without the incredible work by various intelligence agencies, including the CIA, NSA, and NGA.
See, that's what I don't get. Y'all coming here talking about nobody's talking about Somalia or Epstein. Man, Maduro ass just got captured, man. China's about to take Taiwan. We're about to go see what's to Greenland and what the hell they got going on. Also the Caribbean. Russia is calling for the immediate release of Maduro. And you want to come here and talk about the Epstein file? Come holler at me on January 17th when Bill Clinton goes up there and testifies, and he might be ready to spill the damn beans. And when it comes to the Somalis, man, look, they got Somaliland over there. The UAE, Israel, they're already recognizing Somaliland. They're letting them break away. They said they're going to take the Palestinians, man. It is what it is. When we're talking about waste, fraud, and abuse, the shit's going to keep going on until they put some safeguards. They said they put safeguards there. Didn't they stop all funding to all states with the damn child care, correct? Until you put a photo receipt of proof, a receipt or a photo picture. What more do you want me to talk about with the damn Somalis right now and the Epstein list? We'll holler on the 17th when Bill gets his happy ass up there to testify. Right now, tonight's live stream, I hate when y'all try to come here and curate my shit. Tonight's live stream, we're talking about Iran getting the riots in the 91 damn cities going out of fucking control, and we talking about Maduro and his wife going to the Supermax in Florence, man. Right now they in New York, but after they get sentenced, they taking their ass to the Supermax in Florence. They're gonna be on 23-1, probably getting tortured and shit, man. That's what we talking about tonight.
We watched, we waited, we prepared, we remained.
Oh, they talking about the press conference. I just went on a tirade for nothing. My bad.
And professional. This mission was meticulously planned.
Thank you, Honey Horse. You said you will see the Iran currency and XR cryptocurrency skyrocket with the new empires form. Iran will stabilize and their currency will rocket. I seen the rails being laid out for XRP, man. I haven't seen much about Iran's currency, but we're gonna see what's going on, man. I expect probably their currency to fucking tumble if all of these riots and shit are going on, man. So their currency probably will stabilize and, recover a lot. Now, it'll probably rocket up from its low. It probably will rocket up from its low. But rocketing up in comparison to other currencies around the globe, probably fucking not, man. But from its low, yeah, it'll probably, come up when it does stabilize over there.
Drawing lessons from decades of missions over the last many years. Many missions over these last many years. This was an audacious operation that only the United States could do. It required the utmost of precision and integration within our joint force. And the word integration does not explain the sheer complexity of such a mission. An extraction so precise it involved more than 150 aircraft launching across the Western Hemisphere in close coordination, all coming together in time and place to layer effects for a single purpose: to get an interdiction force into downtown Caracas while maintaining the element of tactical surprise. Failure of one component of this well-oiled machine would have endangered the entire mission, and failure is never an option for America's joint force. Those in the air over Caracas last night were willing to give their lives for those on the ground and in the helicopters. Let me talk a little bit about the preparation. After months of work by our intelligence teammates to find Maduro and understand how he moved, where he lived, where he traveled, what he ate, what he wore, what were his pets, in early December, our force was set pending a series of aligned events. Key was choosing the right day to minimize the potential for civilian harm and maximize the element of surprise and minimize the harm to the indicted personnel so, as the president said, they could be brought to justice. And as the president said earlier today, weather in Venezuela is always a factor this time of the year. And over the weeks through Christmas and New Year's, the men and women of the United States military sat ready, patiently waiting for the right triggers to be met and the president to order us into action. Last night, the weather broke just enough, clearing a path that only the most skilled aviators in the world could maneuver through. Ocean, mountain, low cloud ceilings, but when tasked with a mission, this organization does not quit. At 10:46 p.m. Eastern Time last night, the President ordered the United States military to move forward with this mission. He said to us, and we appreciate it, Mr. President, good luck and Godspeed. And those words were transmitted to the entire Joint Force. Over the course of the night, aircraft began launching from 20 different bases on land and sea across the Western Hemisphere. In total, more than 150 aircraft, bombers, fighters, intelligence, reconnaissance, surveillance, rotary wing were in the air last night. Thousands and thousands of hours of experience were airborne. Our youngest crew member was 20, and our oldest crew member was 49, and there's simply no match for American military might. As the night began, the helicopters took off with the extraction force, which included law enforcement officers, and began their flight into Venezuela at 100 feet above the water. As they approached Venezuelan shores, the United States began layering different effects provided by Spacecom, Cybercom, and other members of the interagency to create a pathway. Overhead, those forces were protected by aircraft from the United States Marines, the United States Navy, the United States Air Force, and the Air National Guard. The force included F-22s, F-35s, F-18s, EA-18s, E-2s, B-1 bombers, and other support aircraft, as well as numerous remotely piloted drones. As the force began to approach Caracas, the Joint Air Component began dismantling and disabling the air defense systems in Venezuela, employing weapons to ensure the safe passage of the helicopters into the target area. The goal of our air component is, was, and always will be to protect the helicopters and the ground force and get them to the target and get them home. As the force crossed the last point of high terrain where they'd been hiding in the clutter, we assessed that we had maintained totally the element of surprise. As the helicopter force ingressed towards the objective at low level, we arrived at Maduro's compound at 1:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 2:01 a.m. Caracas local time, and the apprehension force descended into Maduro's compound and moved with speed, precision, and discipline towards their objective, and isolated the area to ensure the safety and security of the ground force while apprehending the indicted persons. On arrival into the target area, the helicopters came under fire, and they replied with that fire with overwhelming force in self-defense. One of our aircraft was hit but remained flyable, and as the President said earlier today, all of our aircraft came home, and that aircraft remained flyable during the rest of the mission. As the operation unfolded at the compound, our air and ground intelligence teams provided real-time updates to the ground force, ensuring those forces could safely navigate the complex environment without unnecessary risk. The force remained protected by overhead tactical aviation. Maduro and his wife, both indicted, gave up and were taken into custody by the Department of Justice, assisted by our incredible U.S. military with professionalism and precision, with no loss of U.S. life. After securing the indicted persons, the force began to prep for departure. Helicopters were called in to exfiltrate the extraction force, while fighter aircraft and remotely piloted aircraft provided overhead coverage and suppressive fire. There were multiple self-defense engagements as the force began to withdraw out of Venezuela. The force successfully exfiltrated and returned to their afloat launch bases, and the force was over the water at 3:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with indicted persons on board. And both Maduro and his wife were embarked aboard the USS Iwo Jima. In closing, what we've witnessed today is a powerful demonstration of America's joint force. We think, we train, we rehearse, we debrief, we rehearse again and again, not to get it right, but to ensure that we cannot get it wrong. Our jobs are to integrate combat power so when the order comes, we can deliver overwhelming force at the time and the place of our choosing against any foe anywhere in the world. I am immensely proud today of our joint force and filled with gratitude to represent them here today. There is simply no mission too difficult for these incredible professionals and the families that stand by them and support them. As we stand here this morning, our forces remain in the region at a high state of readiness, prepared to project power, defend themselves, and our interests in the region. This operation is a testament to the dedication.
Chat, I need everybody to double tap the screen and share the live out, man. We're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. The subscribe button is at the top. We go live every single day talking politics, current events, and entertainment. Double tapping the screen is how you support the channel for free.
An unwavering commitment to justice and our resolve to hold accountable those who threaten peace and stability. In closing, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women who executed this mission. Their courage and tireless commitment to our nation are what makes us strong. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and thank you, Mr. President.
Well, I don't have much to add to what you've heard now, other than the following points. Nicolas Maduro was indicted in 2020 in the United States. He is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. That's not just us saying it. The first Trump administration, the Biden administration, the second Trump administration, none of those three recognized him. He's not recognized by the European Union and multiple countries around the world. He is a fugitive of American justice with a $50 million reward, which I guess we saved $50 million. And
make sure.
Yeah, exactly. But
don't let anybody claim it. Nobody deserves it but us.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolas Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this. We're going to take... This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest of the United States. And the president addressed it. There's a president of peace, by the way. I told you what I just said earlier. This guy had multiple opportunities to find his way somewhere else and figure out another. He could have been living somewhere else right now, very happy, but instead he wanted to play big boy. And so now, he's got other sets of problems on his hands. And but I think the message here should be for the world. Look, the president doesn't go out looking for people to pick fights with. He's not generally wants to get along with everybody. We'll talk and meet with anybody, but don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office because it's not going to turn out well. And so I hope that I guess that lesson was learned last night, and we hope it'll be instructive moving forward.
Is that a message to Cuba, Mr. President?
Mr. President.
All right, chat. That's the end of that right there. We're gonna move on in the show. I do have the phone number pinned. JR Reviews. I seen you said you wanted to call in earlier. NJ Reviews. NJ Reviews. I seen you wanted to call in earlier. The phone line is open. If you want to call in, I'll give you the floor first before we just open it all the way up. If you want to call in, you did ask earlier. I'm finna pull up this picture of the girl that was, we're gonna move on to the Iran topic as well. This is the girl right here that ended up getting shot on the 31st, and she succumbed to her injuries today. I believe they said the military or the law enforcement ended up shooting her. This is the girl. They 22-year-old Sagar Itamadi. Yeah, she ended up getting shot in the face. She got shot in the face over there in Iran, man. She got shot in the face in Iran. Let me move on. Where is it? Alright, hold on. Alright, but yeah, chat, I'll let y'all see some of the clips from over there in Iran. They say the riots have broken out in 91 cities. 91 cities, man. Keep it real, sound like they shooting some big shit, chat. Whatever the police are shooting, man, they said they shot that one girl in the face. So far, about 10 rioters have been pronounced dead. They are saying that the government is shooting live rounds at these rioters, and at these protesters. This is I think that's a helicopter over my shit. Alright, hold on, chat. Let me pull up this other clip. Damn, is that not it? Alright, here we go. Oh, this is part of the Iran too, the Iran protesters. They're saying these the rioters are making homemade flamethrowers, man. Homemade flamethrowers is crazy. Had his ass out there like Ghost Rider, didn't he, chat? Had that man out there on that bike like Ghost Rider. Y'all remember the movie Ghost Rider? Did y'all see all of that shit he was spraying on him? Was that a super soaker, chat? Did he have a super soaker full of gas that he lit? Man, he had this man sliding through like Ghost Rider. Look at him on the bike. Down there on the bike on fire like Ghost Rider. Man, this shit is crazy, bro. Got that man like Ghost Rider. Watch, chat. Damn. Had that man like Ghost Rider, man. Damn. They out bullshitting over there in Iran. Caller, whoever called me, I'm calling them back. I guess I didn't hear it ring. Hey, whoever called from the last call, y'all know who it is. I'm not going to say any of your numbers out loud, but if you call back, I'll be looking. I don't know why it didn't ring. I don't know why I didn't hear the call. Shit is crazy. Oh, they shot at him. Y'all heard the gunshot? They got the shooting at him. They got the shooting at him, but yeah, he gonna have to stop, drop, and roll, man. They got his ass out here like Ghost Rider is crazy, bro. Got his ass out here like Ghost Rider, Chad. The homemade flamethrower is wild, crazy work. Homemade flamethrower is crazy work. All right, here goes some more footage of the protest out there, riots. Here you go. That's a lot of people, bro. That's a lot of people, man. Well, all right, chat. The phone lines are open. If anybody wants to call in, have a conversation, man, the phone lines are open. Here we got a caller.
Call from.
What's going on, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, dude? I'm Carter and from Iowa.
What's up, Carter from Iowa, man? How you feeling about today's topic?
Pretty good. Yeah, I just don't understand why everybody hates America so much that lives here.
Okay.
Like I was in the comments. I hang out in the comments down there in the chat, and it just blows my mind. I don't understand.
What do you mean by that? Expound on that. Why do you think they hate America?
Anytime that anything that Trump does is good, just because Trump did it, they all freak out.
So do they hate America or do they just hate Trump?
I mean, by extension, if you're trying to prevent things from happening that could improve our standing in the world or financially, then
I'm going to be
probably
honest.
both.
I'm going to be honest with you here. I don't think it mattered who was in that position. There were going to be a large group of individuals that were going to be against those actions. Whether it was Trump that did what just happened, whether it was Biden, whether it was Obama, whether it's J.D. Vance, no matter who it was, there was going to be backlash for what just happened. I mean, you 17,
you mean for Venezuela?
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
not even from Venezuela. I'm saying Americans were going to be mad about that. I mean, we just took control of $17 trillion worth of oil. Now, there are some people here who I'm not even going to bash them or, side talk them, but they believe in a truly peaceful world to where everything's going to be all kumbaya and everybody just gets to, let whatever go on. It's just okay and cool. And to that group of people would be the same group of people who would push back on these actions no matter who was president or who called the shot.
That's why you just got to continue to publicly shame these people. These communists don't need to be anywhere near us. Giving all the money in Minnesota, how much fraud do you think there is, dude? It's crazy how much they found in Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I do believe there's fraud, going on. Minnesota, I believe there's fraud going on everywhere. Huh?
There's people defending the fraud.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to do that when their pockets are lined or laced. It's like same thing that happened with the PPP, EDD. Same thing that happened with the California homelessness scam. People are getting their pockets laced. Same thing with these politicians who steal $50-75 million from their city municipalities and get pardons. I mean, the fraud is gonna get you show me a community and I'll show you what kind of fraud they do.
Yeah. I feel like anytime you hear about any government program for charities or anything, and they're skimming money off the top. big time.
Correct. Even when you go to the Diamond District, we just seen Tracks NYC fighting jewelers for scamming, doing frauds. You know, these are millionaires on the Diamond District still doing fraud. So, like I said, you show me the group of people, I can tell you what kind of fraud they're involved in.
I feel it. I just think that if the people in America would understand, like, if they would think about stuff deeper than surface level, that think Trump's a bad person, it would really, I mean, it's not really hard. It's been 10 years of just everything they throw at him. It's just nothing has been true. Nothing sticks. And, like, what we're fighting over. You know what I mean? It's like if we would all just work together, I feel like right now, even with Trump, if you hate him, I mean, he's the president, we could go prove a lot of things. They could probably get a lot of laws passed. We could get a lot of corruption out of the government. We're going to fight because it's Trump. I just don't, it blows my mind.
Correct. See, I think Trump does do things in the benefit of America, and he finds a way to make the situation better for himself as well. I.e. the Qatar deal. You know, the Qatar deal was already set up. They were already going to do that. Something similar to that from the last administration. Trump just pulled $1 billion jet out of the deal. Same thing with, you know,
But he's always been kind of like that person.
So,
you know what I mean?
let me finish though. So I can see where people get the gray areas there. It's like, oh, it's America first, but, or it's for America, but he made money off of it, you know? And that's where you get the pushback. It's like, did he do it for the money or himself, or did he do it actually in the benefit of the country? So he knows that goes on. He leaves room for that. When you do things like take $1 billion jet and you let a military base come over here, no matter if the deal was already secure before Trump or after Trump, he got $1 billion jet out of it. So it's kind of like, that's going to leave room for speculation.
Is the jet for him to fly around in, or is it going to a museum?
It'll probably go to his it'll probably go to his library or whatever he builds after he gets out of office. That's what it'll probably go to.
Well, like he's like not taking it. Like he's trying to show people that that he's not like a politician for like a long time now, and it's just like crazy to me that like.
No, Trump is definitely a politician now. Once you, yeah, he's 10 years in the game. He's over 10 years in the game.
It's different from the like establishment group of people. You know what I mean? All politicians kind of work together. I feel like before Trump showed up.
I mean, I would say that, and I would say it's a talking point. But once you put 10,000 hours into something, you become an expert. Trump's been doing diplomatic things. He's been a politician over 10,000 hours. He's over 10 years, and he's 10 years in the game now. If you count the year campaigning, the years off, and now this year, now Trump's 10 years in the game. Like, he's a politician now. He's a man of many hats, but politician is definitely one of them. He knows how to play the game.
Yeah, no, I think we're agreeing and just talking past each other a little bit because I agree with you 100%, but also I feel like his whole, what he's ran on and stuff really wasn't what you would typically see from the government prior to 2016. Like, it's kind of like more secretive and less transparency and less.
It was less internet. It wasn't, the algorithms wasn't here. The whole reason for this transparency, it's not because they just want to come out and tell us everything. It's because it's harder to hide now. It's harder to hide now.
Yeah.
To go back to the internet, go back to the internet 2016. And the internet now, you know, it's just a whole different world.
Also, I'm of the belief that I think people started getting into politics because when they looked into it a little bit, everybody kind of realized we kind of need to pay attention to this now, and we kind of need to fix things now. You know what I mean?
I think it's just our age group got older. I don't know how old you are. You know exactly. I didn't ask you that. I know a lot of channels do, but I think it's a group of people. It's a gap that's been bridged, and it's a group of people that are, I would say, 35 and between 27 and 35. Those people really took a grasp to it, and that bridged the gap between the older generation and the younger generation, because now it's the algorithm. It's pumping it to you. It's feeding it to you. You got Elon on X. You got the Nick Shirley's a young guy. He's holding on for the younger kids. You got different age groups, and every age group and every demographic kind of has a standout that's doing it, and then the algorithm pushes it to you.
Yeah, no, I feel it. That's like part of the problem too. I feel like is that people are kind of. Everybody says it now. It's like people are kind of just looking at what's given to them. You know what I mean? But there's no really way to look outside of what you're seeing unless you try to. And I don't think a lot of people have time for that or like care to do that. You know what I mean?
Well, what I like about X is that I can go in on X and click the Grok thing and tell them to tailor my algorithm.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I think Elon's platform does better than other platforms. You can actually go in and tell Grok to, hey, reset my algorithm or show me more of certain things.
Well, also, along with the internet, I think like the stuff people are finding out is like so much information at one time that's kind of wigging some people out, everybody out a little bit. But yeah, like it just like blew my mind when they were talking about the USAID thing and freaking like how COVID was, and like it seems like fucking almost like eerie or something. It's like this is really for real. And then like there's really $9 billion missing out of Minnesota. We're all working our asses off every day. Taxes.
Correct.
And that just got to be everywhere. It's like how did we get to this point?
How do you feel about that lady that was like over HUD I think she came in under Clinton but was with Bush administration, and she says that the 20 or 21 trillion of our deficit is for the underground cities. And nobody's really talking about that. How do you feel about that?
Okay, so this is a trip, but like last year I went to like these caves in Tennessee, dude, and like there is some massive underground networks that are natural. So like I pretty easy to hide shit like that underground, but also it just.
She said there's like 180, I believe, 180 underground, sites. They're totally sustainable. They have everything they need.
Though, right? Build down instead of build up. When I've thought about it a little bit, but
I was kind of asking your thoughts on it because you was kind of talking about the waste, fraud, and abuse, and it's kind of like, well, if she's claiming that 20 trillion of our debt is for these underground cities, what's your response to that in relation to waste, fraud, and abuse? Because if they're supposed to be the most transparent administration, or we're supposed to be getting all this transparency, but we haven't heard anything about these underground cities, so it doesn't look like they're for us.
To be 100% honest, I've been kind of frustrated with just things kind of not real. I mean, the Epstein files was kind of like not really transparent. JFK not really transparent. I don't care about either of those things, but I started noticing like more and more stuff. Like, they didn't tell us anything about the guy who shot Trump, anything about the guy who shot Charlie Kirk, and it seems like they're just hiding all the stuff that anybody would care about.
Correct.
Like, it seems like we're just still like being kept in the dark about anything important.
Yeah, you said you haven't heard about that. Not you. Soko, you haven't heard about that?
But I could believe it. It would remain a possibility to me. But
She was saying it was something about how they move the money and it's able to be put on like a black book. So like the U.S. moves it somewhere and it's like goes to a black budget to where it's you can spend money from it and it not be seen. She said that she was looking up something and traced the paper trail and uncovered the 20 trillion, where the 20 trillion went to.
That's what I'm wondering is, like, where does all this money that's getting stolen and that they're, like, trading stocks when they're in Congress, all of a sudden they're worth $100 million, like, in a year or two or some stupid shit. Where is all this money going, and why do so many of these people sell their entire country out? Family grew up in, that their children live in, for money. Like, why is it that important? I feel like that many people would be convinced to do, like, treasonous fucking shit in America for money, but, people do anything for money, but it's kind of crazy, like, if you think about how much, like, we get taxed on everything 100 times, spend half of our money on taxes. By the time you get income tax, state tax, you get taxed on food, you get taxed on anything you buy, tax.
For sure.
360 million people here, and some of the richest corporations and richest people live in America.
Man, I'm trying to find this lady's name, man. I'm trying to find this lady's name.
I have to look that up for sure.
Hold on.
I mean, I lived in
Catherine Fitz. Catherine Fitz is her name. Let me see if I can pull up a clip of this lady over here on X very quick talking about it while I got you on the line. But go ahead, finish what you were saying.
Well, just like at this point, I don't really, I wouldn't believe anything at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it's like nothing would shock me at this point. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it seems like it would be more logical to build underground if you were trying to be, like, secretive. It would be, like, probably way more efficient to build down instead of build skyscrapers. And it would be safer, like, from attack, you know what I mean? If they were, like, nuclear bunkers or something like that for rich people to hide in. I don't know, but it would make sense to me. But it sounds just, I could tell that sounds crazy when other people would hear it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just, I don't know.
I got the clip right here. Catherine Fitz, former George W. Bush administration official, one of the whistleblowers, uncovering how the elites are building doomsday bunkers in the underground bases in fear of near-extinction events. She mentions solar minimum global cooling, what she really means the grand solar minimum. Since we developed modern technology, the sun has not entered a grand solar minimum like it did 1300 AD, 536 AD. Catastrophic events. So this is the clip where she's saying that she reports the government is missing 21 trillion. So she's saying that if you go check the books, 21 trillion of our $40 trillion deficit is just quote unquote missing.
But could that be potentially more fraud? Like they're claiming there's more of a debt, so people pay more of a debt and they just take that is not
I'm finna play the clip.
If you won't fund them, and the political wheel made it very clear in 1995, we refuse to fund them, you only have another way to balance the budget, and that's to lower life expectancy. And
so we don't have to pay them.
Well, if you look at the charts, literally from when that budget deal busted, life expectancy started to fall. So here are the other 19 industrial countries, and here's the U.S., and it starts to go down, 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 and then the pandemic, it drops off the cliff. And the divergence between...
During the pandemic, the people that were most affected were elderly or people that were, already on death's door with multiple comorbidities.
It's a little bit more complex than that, but yes, and the latest reports from Social Security is it's working. Social Security has improved. Here's the thing. I'm going to be a tough guy. This is a formula. So you either put the money in.
Tapering the Ponzi scheme. I've heard.
It's not a Ponzi scheme, but if you're not going to fully fund it, then you can lengthen retirement age or you can lower life expectancy. It's a formula.
Right.
And if the body politic refuses to do the financially responsible thing, then you got two choices, and you can't get there by delaying the retirement age. That won't work politically. So you just poison the pot. You just put them on a slow kill. It's happened, and you can say, "Oh, the bankers are bad guys," but if you saw the confirmation hearings for Kennedy's appointment, I mean, what you saw were scores of senators
Yes.
refusing to take responsibility for a chronic epidemic among our children, which is an extinction level event.
Where the hell is it?
That, that was not the bankers sitting in the City of London. That was senators sitting in Washington refusing to take responsibility. It's one thing to say to Kennedy, we don't like your plan to end the chronic epidemic. That is a society that will fail. I mean, that's that. If you've
And
ever,
this is because a lot of those congressmen and senators were paid for by pharmaceutical.
they're not competent to be a U.S. senator.
Totally.
Right. They don't.
Wow.
And if I'm the bankers and I want to control fiscal policy, I've proven on national TV that the people who run fiscal policy are not competent to run it. The HHS budget is bankrupting the country, and it's not just bankrupting the country. I mean, I was an investment advisor for 10 years, and the way I learned all about this is watching the healthcare system bankrupt families. So that's my, I'm angry about is there is no reason why our economy can't be highly prosperous and successful.
Yeah, agree.
But it can only be successful if the people are successful.
I don't know, man. I guess they mislabeled the clip. My bad for wasting y'all damn time on that clip. But
Makes sense though if all that type of stuff's connected, right? Epstein's Island, people like the corrupt people in the government, there's got to be some group of people somewhere that makes a lot of decisions for our country, other countries. I mean, Europe is having the same type of problems all over Europe. Like, they're having all the illegals come there, and there's I think they said Britain was less, white people aren't a majority there anymore because they've just brought in 1 million illegals, and what is the point of that? There's got to be a reason why all of this stuff is going on right now.
globalization.
You think it's really just to so they can consolidate money and make everyone poor, and that's what I thought originally. I still probably am going to lean that
It's
direction.
globalization. It's just too much of loose policy, too much of being accepting, and just this shit's not happening everywhere. I'm just gonna be all the way honest with you. It's not happening everywhere.
Immigration thing and the birth rate collapse and the extreme
Yeah, because what our parents told us that we could do whatever we wanted to do. We could be whatever we wanted to be. You didn't want to have kids till 40, 50, 60, go ahead. You didn't want to, do the traditional thing, go ahead. You wanted to go paint with your toes for the rest of your life, do it, man. That's what it is, man. People are choosing career, man, and not but decline of birth rate. It's a lot. It's America, man. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, it drives me nuts when I hear couples talking and they're yeah, we're never gonna have kids and stuff, and we just want to get good jobs and stuff. It's is your job gonna be on your deathbed? You know what I mean? Why do people not? They just abandon the idea of family, or
Because we that's what I'm saying. We grew up where family didn't mean as much. Let's just be honest. Why? Because we were connected to the world. Back when family quote unquote meant a lot, it was tight knit because you had less access to people. The only people you talked to were the people you went to school with, the people you went to work with, the people you went to church with. That shit was it. That shit was all. So you were pretty close, tight knit with your family. Now the shit you would tell your cousin or your brother or whoever, you just run to Facebook and post the shit, man. Or you go make an Instagram story about it. You tell the world the problems.
Yeah, but and like people they call that social media, but like it lacks the context that most of the time when you're posting on it, you're by yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's not good for people.
And
to,
that's
like,
growing up a whole generation of weird motherfuckers, socially awkward motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be all the way honest. I'm gonna let you finish up because I got a couple other people that want to call. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. It's growing up a generation of weird, socially awkward motherfuckers. Motherfuckers that really just won't be able to reproduce because they're damn awkward, man. They're gonna. This is where the metaverse. Go ahead.
They don't like accept reality at several points I've noticed, and where does that even come from? Like they're like the my truth thing, like it's my truth and your truth. It's like, no, dude, why are we doing this? Everybody just
because our parents told us we can do whatever the hell we wanted to do and be whatever the hell we wanted to be. And some people took that shit literally, man. They didn't put any parameters. There wasn't no damn guardrails. It was just, hey, man, be a free spirit. Go live life. It is what it fucking is.
Well, and that would have worked if America continued to be as wealthy and as we were back when, you know, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, like America was booming. Like that, you probably could have maybe
in the
got
60s,
away with
70s,
that
and
back
the
then.
80s, they wasn't telling your ass you could go do whatever the fuck you wanted to do. You were either gonna go to the military, get a fucking job, or go to school. Back in the 70s, it wasn't go do what you want to do. It was some damn guardrails, some parameters. Your ass either go get a job, go to the military, or go to school. That shit is gone. It's not there anymore. Do what the hell you want to do now.
Yeah, like the people just they like people. I feel like and taking God out of the home completely just put the cherry on top to screwing everybody. Like I think people like need like something like that, like a community like that of trustworthy people around them. And then like a moral standard that never changes. You know what I mean? People, we just stopped. It almost became like bad to talk about God like in public. You know what I mean? It just became like kind of like, oh, that's lame or that's weird and like.
No, that shit. It didn't get lame to talk about God in public. It got lame to talk about God in media. That was a perception. That was a small pocket of America making it seem like, oh, if you say God is spooky. No, I'm from the Bible Belt. God never left. Everywhere I go when I come home, somebody's going to look at me and say, hey, Jesus loves you. Somebody's going to look at me and say, hey, God loves you. Like, I'm from the Bible. It never left. It's just the media perception is that it left. These television networks were taking it out. That's what it was. It never actually left if you were outside. It never left.
The media is the one like brainwashing people and feeding them this communist ideology. Like it's all straight out of the Communist Manifesto. It's boring and lame, whatever. But like, no religion, no family, no male and female. You know, that's all communism. Feminism, that's all Marxism, dude. It all comes back to the same thing. Look back on it, like in history, all the way back to like when all this shit started happening, when all America and the nuclear family started breaking apart, we sold our industrial base to China and everywhere, and we started giving away all our money, and tied back to communism and like giving away all your money. That's just straight up communism right there. And they don't teach about communism in school either. They teach about World War II, but killed over 100 million people in the 20th century, and people in America, like a lot of people on the college campuses and shit, hated. They love communism. America was communist. It's like crazy to me.
Okay.
I think like that. I think there's like people that have infiltrated government that are communist, or people that bought into the communist thing, or maybe China is giving them money or something. I have a feeling that the whole thing isn't organic. Like the whole Democratic Party selling out and turning into this crazy, weird, whatever thing it is right now, dude. Like I don't know. I just don't think that was organic.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for calling in.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for calling in, man. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Give us a call back, man. We coming up on 30 minutes on this convo, so I'm going to let a couple other people call in.
I appreciate you, dude.
Hey, man, I appreciate you as well. All right, chat. We got the phone lines back open. That was a great conversation. I appreciate the caller for calling in. That was, I don't want to say his name wrong. I think it was Carter Reviews. I think that was Carter Reviews from Iowa, man. Carter from Iowa. Top Cat, I seen you say you want to call in, or I don't know who else. Sure, Dorsey probably call in, so the phone line's open. We'll take a couple more calls before we get up out of here.
Call from
Dorsey.
What it do, Dorsey?
Hey, man. Okay, as you can see in my remarks in the chat, got just one thing to say. If you guys are such patriots, join the goddamn military. You motherfuckers hate communism so much. Join your ass in the National Guard. Go to the reserves. You ain't got to be no active duty, but go and get yourself registered to the reserves so you can be trained, so that if you do need to be called up, you'll be already prepared to go fight for America. Don't nobody can say shit to me, because I'm a U.S. Marine Corps vet. I went to the Marine Corps during peacetime in the 80s. And like I said, I served in an artillery unit, so I know what the fuck collateral damage is. You think that the shrapnel just gonna hit soldiers? No, it's gonna kill civilians too. So no, I don't dig having motherfucking innocent civilians killed from motherfucking oil. No, I ain't with it. Then also, let me also let you know about this. Anytime there's a draft, guess who they get? They get poor people. They get motherfuckers from the trailer park. They get people from the ghetto. They get niggas who ain't smart enough to go to college, or who too lazy to go to a vocational school to be exempted. Now let China invade some shit, and then let Russia join in some shit, and let Iran join in shit, and then they gonna start drafting y'all monkey asses. See, that's the part I ain't trying to hear. You know, in the comments they talking about not everybody is meant for the military life. You told them with no hesitation, back in the day, you either go work in the factory, you went to college, or you took your ass to the military.
Dorsey, you got to ride up, man. They calling in right now. Keep cooking, man. They just
You
got to wait.
goddamn right I got them riled up, because when Dorsey talk, people listen. I'm coming from, either you love what I got to say, or you hate what I got to say. But one thing I can tell you, I'm the one who motherfucking seen his fellow's man die. The one who seen 324 motherfucking young men who had their whole future ahead of them die in one motherfucking night. See, this is shit, you know, they want to sit sit up on the PlayStation, but then they ass won't go and register for the draft. They ass do. And if they do get drafted, then they going to find out some damn reason to avoid their service. I love America, but I don't love cowards. Got me fucked up.
Hey, y'all gonna have to wait. I'm gonna call y'all back, man. Y'all gonna have to wait till Dorsey get done. Y'all gonna have to wait. Go ahead.
Cause you know, I'm down with going and taking that oil from Venezuela. Yeah, let's take that shit. But don't you motherfuckers sit up here and talk about oh God and all this shit. I'm trying to hear that shit. Gas Christians and shit. Same motherfucking Christians that'll burn a cross in your motherfucking yard and call you a nigga. I ain't trying to hear that shit. If we gonna go ahead and be Americans, then be Americans. But don't come with this fake ass patriotism. This shit. You ain't making no damn sacrifice. I'm not talking to the women folks. I'm not talking to the women. I'm talking to the men folks.
I thought they wanted equal rights.
Hey, man, these women can't handle this shit. All that bullshit they talking. Ain't nothing but motherfucking talk.
Man, hold on, man. I thought DEI was out the damn window, man. I thought this shit was merit-based. I just seen they said one of the, I think it was the Army Rangers did they whole little competition thing, and it was a woman that finished. Out of 50 males, I think only 20 people finished, and it was a woman that finished.
Okay, well, did she volunteer? Because I think as a ranger, you got to sign up and volunteer for this shit, right?
You would know more than me. I wasn't.
Yeah, so
I didn't serve.
when you a candidate to go to ranger school, you are in competition with thousands of other soldiers who want to have that position. So if she, that one woman, so you telling me 1 out of 10,000 capable of passing the test?
Nah, shit. What I'm saying is that DEI shit is a quote unquote out of the window. Like I said, I'm not here to talking about morals and what's right and what's wrong tonight. I'm here to report the news and tell you what I think is going on. And reporting the news is this woman, she finished with only 23 people finished, so she made it in there. The DEI is out the window. So, yeah, that was my point.
I mean, I understand that, but she went on her own merit. She went through a grueling test, physical, mental, spiritual test. Okay? You don't sit your ass up there in the swamp and have leeches all up your asshole and shit, and then think that, oh, well, you know, this ain't nothing. Tear you down. You see where I'm coming from? So, yeah, I do agree. If they were doing fentanyl and sending drugs to the United States, hey, well, guess what? Trump got a reason. Trump got an excuse to do the things he do. But when you come up here with these kids, you know, talking about, this and that, hey, you don't have a clue. You don't have a fucking clue what it is to be out there in that goddamn mud. Goddamn rain, bitter cold, and you hungry. Motherfuckers think that, oh, well, when you're in the army or when you're in a soldier, you get, no, nigga, when you in a soldier, ask the niggas who fought in Afghanistan. Ask them how it felt when they was sitting up there in them goddamn barracks, in them goddamn holes, that bomb, and it's cold as fuck. Dirty, and you ain't took a shower in 3 weeks.
All right, Dorsey. You cooking, man.
You
cooking. Let me get these calls, man. I got like 10 different people calling in.
Yeah. But I wanted to talk about the other shit, but, you know, that's
I'll call you back in a minute, man. I'll call you back in a minute.
That made my ass itch.
All right, I'll call you back in a little minute, man. Let me get these folks, man.
Because you got a military pops. You know your pops told you how that shit is in the military.
My whole family's military, man. I was the only one who went to school, man. All right, though.
Exactly. And my whole family went to the military, Marine Corps, Semper Fi. All right, go ahead. I want to hear the rest of this shit, plug. Thank you. Bye.
person done called like 5 times. We finna see what the hell they want, man. I hope they got something good.
Hello?
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Florida.
Okay, what's your name?
All my friends call me Dixie.
Okay, what's going on, Dixie? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I had actually, there's a woman I follow. She's from Iran. She's here in the United States, and she does the podcast every day, Monday through Friday, for several hours. And I was listening to her for a couple of hours when I was at work on Friday, and it is a revolution in Iran. It's not riots. It's not protests. People that they want their king back, and they want the Muslim Brotherhood not to be in charge in Iran anymore. Because it used to be in the 80s, Iran was like America. I mean, women had jobs. They could go outside without their hair being covered and not be afraid of, beat to death and hung and all that crazy stuff. But so it's not a revolt. It's not.
I've seen those pictures from in the
even
70s. They were wearing bikinis and everything back over there in the 70s.
Yeah, they want their king back. He's in another country. He basically had to flee because the Muslim Brotherhood would have killed him.
So
Friday, he put out a public message asking the police and the military for the Muslim Brotherhood, please stop the people. The people in Iran want freedom. They do not have now.
Yeah, I see the Iran Supreme Leader's not having this shit. I seen he put out a few tweets today and said that they hold on, I have them right here. He says, where are they? Okay, here it is. I have to translate it. Let me go to this page. We will make the enemy kneel, is what he said. He said, we will make the enemy kneel. Those who claim that the solution to the country's problems lay in negotiating with America have seen what happened. For in the midst of Iran's negotiation with America, the American administration was behind the scenes preparing a war plan. It says protesting is a legitimate right and is incumbent upon officials to engage in dialogue with protesters, and we are doing so. However, there is no benefit in talking to a rioter. Rioters must be stopped at their limits. The traders' protest against the runaway rise in the foreign currency price is a justified protest. But the important matter is the hiding a number of instigators and agents of the enemy behind the traders, and their raising of the slogans hostile Islamic Republic of Iran. We will not retreat in the face of the enemy. So those are some of the tweets that he put out on today.
Is that from the king?
No,
or is
that's
that
from
the
Iran's Supreme
Muslim
Leader.
Brotherhood?
That's from the Supreme Leader, the official count of Imam Khomeini's website. So this is the Supreme Leader.
So that's the oppressors.
Yeah, the one that's currently in charge.
Yes, oppressor. He is not a legitimate. He's not legitimately in charge of that country.
So what makes him not legitimately in charge? I'm genuinely asking. I'm not trying to be a smart ass. I just really
Because
want to know.
Iran has a king, and it's had a king until the Muslim Brotherhood came in and was just killing people. Huh?
And ran the king out. I'm asking, like, so you said they came in and you said the king fled, right? He fled and he's somewhere else. So they just came in and essentially ran him out.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think they call it a totalitarian regime.
Okay.
Because before, the past.
You cut out, caller.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay. I didn't hear that last part. It was really, really soft. I couldn't hear what you were saying.
I was just asking about the regime change and why this wasn't a legitimate regime, and pretty much where do you see this going over the next several months?
I'm hoping the Iranian people can get their country back. Women can walk the streets and they can wear their burqa if they want to wear a burqa, and they cannot wear a burqa if they want to wear a burqa. Now the regime, anyone who speaks out against them, not only are you in trouble, but they can kill your family too. I mean, it's not good there.
Okay. All right. Well, do you have any questions?
I forgot that lady's name, but I think she does her videos at like noon, like Monday through Friday.
Okay.
She speaks Farsi and she does interpreting and all of the I don't want to use the word protest, but for the people that were coming to the streets on Friday, it was all peaceful. And all they were saying is, we want our king back. Country, we want the Muslim Brotherhood to leave. We want their freedom. Our people want their freedom. Our people. That's all it was. And I knew it wouldn't last long before they started killing people, because that's what they do. That's how they maintain power.
Okay, yeah, it is crazy. I seen they said the internet went down over there as well. I do appreciate you for calling in. I hope you subscribe to the channel and give us a call back one day. I am going to open up the phone lines, let a couple other people get through.
Awesome. You have an excellent evening.
All right, you as well.
Bye-bye.
All right, chat, we're going to open the phone lines back up. I seen a lot of people trying to get through, so we just going to have the phone lines open. Next caller that calls, I'm going to answer. Yeah. They want the Shaw back. You said it's always about oil.
Call from
Rocky.
What's going on, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Rocky, and I'm calling from Nebraska.
Okay, Rocky from Nebraska. How old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay, Rocky, man. How you feeling about today's topics, man? Where you want to pick up?
Well, I want to see if, like, I just tuned in not too long ago, like, right before Dorsey came on, just give you a reference of what, when I came in. And I was, like, this whole thing with Venezuela. I was thinking on some different angles a lot of people ain't thinking really, you know, like mainstream. So I'm trying to think outside the box of what we're trying to do here and what the implications are. So, like, I'll try to hit it like a three-prong point of view here. Number one, what it seems that Trump is doing is an extension of the Monroe Doctrine. Number two, I think that this could be a method to squeeze the BRICS nations. And three, in extension to two, I think this could possibly be a move to lessen the effect, to lessen Russia's war effort in Ukraine, because Russia was also benefiting oil trade with Venezuela, and also China too, which is, you know, part of the BRICS nation. But this is, you know, this is what I'm thinking that the long-term effects is going to be, and this is possibly a motive outside of.
So let me stop you there before you go on. Let me stop you there. So for one, with the extension of the Monroe Doctrine, yes, this is the new Monroe Doctrine 2.0. What was your second point?
That I think this could be a way to squeeze the BRIC nation.
Okay, yes. We've had our currency's lost 10% of its value as of this year, and just speaking of that, of course, yeah, BRICS nations are going with their own currency. The UK's rolling out a digital dollar that'll be all UK. People are moving away from the dollar, albeit it's still, you know, what's widely used as of right now. That time is dwindling fast. So we're securing resources right now. 17 trillion in oil, I don't know how much gold is over there, but we're doubling down on our resources because the currency is going to have to be backed by something. And what was the third point?
So you're basically saying that, I mean, I'm not trying to straw man you, I'm trying to steel man what you're saying here so I don't make any misconceptions of what you're trying to say here. You're basically saying that oil is the liquid gold, replacing the gold standard. Am I correct?
No, I'm just saying that it's going to be commodity based. This new, all currency moving forward is going to be commodity based. Whether it's going to be gold, oil, or any other commodity, I believe that we're just piling resources now because we see the world moving away from the dollar.
That sounds like yeah, I would. It does seem like you got more countries now that, like, you know, again, BRICS, you know, they have 25% of the world economic, world economic economy, and now with UK, I got a question for you because I'm fairly ignorant about the digital move away from the digital, to the digital dollar. Is that what the people of UK want, or is that just the government asserting that that's what's going to happen there?
So, a part of the New Monroe Doctrine is pretty much getting Europe on their own, like out of our business. So they're calling Trump a isolationist, and they're saying if Trump wants to be an isolationist, let him. So now they're taking steps to get their currency all. It's going to be a digital dollar, but it's only going to be backed by their currency. The U.S. dollar is not going to have anything to do with it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. I thought the British currency after post-Brexit is the British pound instead of the euro. So I'm a little confused.
Let's see.
They were never dependent on the U.S. dollar except for World Economic Exchange. Speaking locally, that was always the British pound, except for the euro when they're a Brexit country.
Let's see. Okay, it's the EU. It's the EU Council approved the proposal for the digital euro, allowing the ECB to move forward with the government-backed digital currency for everyday payments. So that's what they're gonna do.
Okay. Yeah, and the euro. When we're speaking about the euro, we're specifically speaking about European Union nations, not European nations. Correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, that would exclude Britain because of 2016 Brexit, unless something changed, that I'm unaware of.
It says, yes, the British currency is based on fiat. They're moving towards a digital coin base. That's what XX says. Andy says, yep, the pound quit. We've never had a euro. Okay, so that's just some comments there. But yeah,
okay.
Go ahead though. Make your you were getting ready to say where you think this thing is about to go.
Well, I was just trying to throw some different, because everybody is starting focusing. Well, it appears that people are starting focusing on that. This is basically about America first, preservation, stop the drugs flowing in. 300,000 people yearly are being killed by these drugs and flowing in America, according to Trump on Fox and Friends earlier. I'm trying to think outside the box to really get the, separate from the wheat and the chaff of what the long-term implications are after today, because every single time whenever we see a situation like this, there's always a power vacuum to where who is going to be the successor. And going off the rails a little bit onto what I'm saying, but this is going a little bit off the rails, but somebody can also argue too that maybe what Trump did was a good thing for Maduro, because of the fact that, for an example, taking what Obama did with Gaddafi and Libya, we saw what happened when the people, when Gaddafi was turned to the people in Libya, they basically dragged his body through the streets and shot him in the head. And there was a video on that. So if Trump wanted to do regime change, which clear at this point. So if they want somebody to step up, and the vice president recently said that she doesn't want to take power, they want their president back. You know, one could argue for Trump that, you know, what he did was a good thing, because if Maduro was to be apprehended by their own citizens that were negatively affected by him and his predecessor, Hugo Chavez, you know, that would have ended very badly for him. But on to the bigger picture, though, like I think that, you know, I think that we're trying to make a power move to show that, you know, America's back in the game, you know, outside of what Trump and the Republicans are saying, you know. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, I believe Trump and the people around him have laid out what they want to do very plainly, and I feel like they're acting on it, and the timeline has accelerated because of the midterms. That's why Elon's calling for them to for them to nuke the filibuster and all of that. But moving into the Monroe Doctrine 2.0, I believe it's about to go down. He's laid it all the way out. Like he says, he wants the Panama Canal, wants Venezuela, wants Greenland, and wants to shut the Caribbean. They want weakened European allies. They want no European colonialism in the Americas. They want America shut down. My long-term thought to this is it's still the one world government thing. I think we got so caught up in the World Economic Forum and things of those sorts that we thought the one world government was just gonna be straight to a one world government. But what we're seeing right now is consolidation. We're seeing consolidation. We're seeing this imperialism go on right now. I mean, Trump said, hey, we're gonna control Venezuela. So I believe that there's gonna be consolidation en route to the one world government. Now we can say that it's not going to be a one world government, and this is the way to stop a one world government, by having, you know, a select few superpowers.
Yeah, that's a whole can of worms of a different topic, though. But honestly, I think that along the lines that is true, because there was this theory going out there that there was like a 7-year plan overturned regimes in 5 different countries, you know. And, you know, there's a lot of science pointing to an effort to have a one world government based format, you know. Like you look at European Union, that is like that could be a sign that where they're trying to implement that on a smaller scale of a one world government, you know. They tried that idea here in America, like a Pan-American idea. You know, they tried that, and the only thing close we got from it was NAFTA. You know what I mean? But yeah, very interesting. In my opinion, I think that it's just showing the world that we're, you know, still doing American business. You got oil, we're going to give you some freedom. You know what I mean? But other than that, I don't got anything else to contribute. I just want to shoot some ideas and hear your perspective on that. You know, I got, you know, I'm in a rock and a hard place. You know, like, just like, I'll just leave it there. I'll call it good and leave it there. You know, I do appreciate you having me come up, and thank you for, you know, a good faith discussion. I appreciate that, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you as well. You gave me some things to think about and some things to look into, man. I really do appreciate your conversation, man. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Give us a call back one day.
I'll tell you what, I'll do that, because I'm part of like a debating community and stuff, you know, and I like to debate, discuss, and trying to get to the importance of the topic without having personal feelings involved with it, you know, trying to be objective best you can. I like that, though. So you definitely got my word that at some point I'll call back and we can, you know, I'll talk about more other serious issues that might, you know, what's to come and so on. Thank you so much.
All right, man. You have a good rest of your evening.
Call from to accept.
What's going on, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Timothy Walton.
All right, Tim. Where you calling from?
I'm sorry.
I was asking where were you calling from. We asked the callers to state their name, where they're calling from. You don't got to say your exact location. You can give us a region and their age, so the audience can kind of get a perspective on who we got on the phone.
Absolutely. New Mexico, 42 years old.
Okay. All right. So how are you feeling about today's topic?
Capture of Nicolas Maduro.
Correct. We're speaking about the regime change, Maduro's capture, and what it means to Trump in the USA, and we're also speaking about Iran and the riots in Iran.
Okay, so I'm gonna address the Venezuela situation first. I think it's a short-term victory. Just judging how the military operation went, I was pretty flabbergasted to see how fast they were able to suffocate the Venezuelan economy and able to extract Nicolas Maduro without any casualties being implemented through that. Just a few U.S. soldiers injured, and I honestly thought that Nicolas Maduro was going to be very defiant, and it was going to be a very long process to eventually happen. Now, as for the future, it's unknown, obviously, because looking at historical patterns, it's innate that every time a country tries to do regime change forcefully, there is always going to be a power vacuum, just like the previous caller mentioned. And I'm not sure if the Trump administration already calculated how they're able to make a smooth transition of power, because there's different people in government positions that have a significant amount of power that's also going to want to seek the top position in Venezuela.
I think Trump already spoke to the vice president taking control.
Okay, but see, there's going to be factions in Venezuela that think it's going to be illegitimate, since the U.S. has implemented soft power and forced Maduro out without his then. So some of the constituents are pretty ecstatic because they got rid of an authoritarian figure, but a portion of the constituents is going to view it as an illegitimate government, just the way how things were handled. It's going to be some power dynamic back and forth with different factions in the government. Like people who are in control of the military, I'm pretty sure they have some say in this, and they will also think that the government is illegitimate if the U.S. forces the vice president to move to the president role.
Yeah, I believe the opposition leader has something to say as well. The opposition leader is the lady that won the Nobel Peace Prize.
I forgot Maria. I forgot her last name as well. She's also seeking presidential ambitions. But like I said, there's different factions that come into play, and they all want same position. So this, I'm not sure if you ever read the history of Latin America.
I have not.
Throughout its history, there's always been illegitimate governments because it's been there's been a coup by military commanders. It haven't happened in modern history, but that's my gut feeling. Of course, I don't have a crystal ball to predict the future, but it's going to be very complex how the U.S. is going to be able to get a smooth transition of power and have a leader that's going to align with their interests when there's opposition that, of course, view the U.S. as an imperialist bully and not going to stand for it, because technically they are invading another country's sovereignty doing this.
Okay.
There's a lot of scenarios that can play out, and will Trump have his mission objective completed within the 3 years? Oh, but if he does, that would be like.
I don't think he has 3 years. I think everything in that Monroe Doctrine 2.0, they're going to try to accomplish before midterms.
Okay. I'm not exactly sure where the Monroe Doctrine fall into this. Can you please elaborate on your definition?
Yeah, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up right here. I got some notes on it right here. It prioritizes America's primary strategic focus for U.S. national security, rejecting foreign interference and emphasizing America First principles of peace through strength. It builds on President James Monroe's 1823 proclamation, which declared the American continents off limit to European colonization and interference, establishing U.S. leadership in the region. The updated version adapts to 21st century threats, guard against ideologies like communism and fascism, as well as contemporary forms of foreign infringement. Hemispheric priority elevates the Western Hemisphere as the top U.S. strategic interest, focusing on homeland security, economic vitality, and preventing external powers from gaining footholds through investments, alliances, or infrastructure control. It introduces a neo-imperialist approach, including guaranteed U.S. Access to key geographic sites like the Panama Canal, Greenland, and the Caribbean, restoration of American maritime dominance, and a whole new government strategy. Disrupts non-market practices in supply chains, secures historic trade deals with countries like El Salvador, Argentina, Guatemala, promotes U.S. investments in infrastructure to counter rival. Basically, they want to shut down the Americas, man. Anything moving through the Americas has to go through the United States of America is the outlier, is the basis of it. Outline,
Thank you for your explanation. So that right there is pretty much focusing on foreign colonization, which is not the case, but I believe now the term Monroe Doctrine is slowly transitioning into more of like foreign soft power influence instead of, colonization.
Yeah, it's imperialism, man. Anything in Americas, man, is off limits to the world, basically. And all business has to go through the United States. That's what I was speaking to the last caller about, where I believe is consolidation of power. I believe the United States is going to trying to secure the Americas. China has their region over there. China's going to go take Taiwan. Our defense budget is already allocated, I believe, $1 billion to Taiwan, $1.5 billion to the Philippines. That's probably all they're going to get. China's going to go take Taiwan. They'll probably do it sometime this year. Timeline's accelerated. Trump's touting this as a victory, saying that we have the strongest military. China already said, what was it, a month, 2 months ago, that they're ready for any kind of war. And so I do believe that they'll go in and get Taiwan. We already told Putin Trump told Putin he can fight his little heart out if he wants to, but he's about done with that shit too.
Yeah, so the only solution that I have that can make this work is still going to be a long-term process. Is first, you're going to have to address the drug cartel influence. And I know this might sound controversial and very unpopular, but both countries are going to have, actually a plethora of countries are going to have to do this in order for the war on drugs to actually be won, which in reality it can't, because it all depends on the individual to go full cold turkey in order to eradicate the profit opportunities for the black market. But what countries can do, implement, legalize, tax, regulate, and take that profit opportunity out of the black market hands back to like the pharmaceutical companies, and also build more rehabs to combat the backlash, which is inevitable, because that policy implemented might be susceptible to an uptick in drug addiction. So Venezuela government is going to have to implement that policy, plus the U.S., in order to weaken the black market pockets. But I'm looking at it from a political standpoint to see if that's actually realistic, and I just don't see that happening, especially in America, because constituents are going to view narcotics such as heroin, methamphetamines, and fentanyl, and things of that nature too extreme to actually legalize, tax, and regulate. So that's the first aspect on addressing it, because you want to try to eradicate the drug cartels' power to bribe government officials. And the second one is actually having corporate interests do foreign direct investment into that country, see where there's a high demand, and take advantage. And so we can give the poor constituents that's living there, job opportunities where they have an incentive to stay there, get enrolled in these jobs so they can provide their family in there, so they don't have to, risk going through outside factors, such as human smuggling, and risk all their life savings just to come here and, live under the radar. And every day their life is jeopardized because they don't know whether they're going to get deported or not. So, yeah, the first step is addressing the drug cartel, trying to eradicate all profit opportunities for them by implementing left-wing policies. The second is foreign direct investment. Corporations seeking how they can extract resources from that country and giving the poor to the middle class stable job opportunities, so they're not susceptible to fleeing the country. The third is actually the Maduro's capture is now you're going to have to put boots on the ground, ensure that there's a smooth transition of power, and how ugly is going to get, stemming from different factions that view this to be like an imperialist takeover. Like, who knows? But we're definitely the U.S. is going to have to deploy a good amount of boots to make sure that things go smoothly, and there might be lots of blood being spilled.
So
eventually going to lead to a hot war because of different factions disfavoring how Maduro got captured, and they're going to view it as an imperialist ambitions and intrusion of Venezuelan sovereignty. So that part is unsure, but like I said, you might, since Donald Trump already put his foot in the water, there's no turning back, because
let me stop you right there. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this before we get to the next caller. I believe this, that there's reports that they want Maduro to talk about the election fraud. That's what Alex Jones is touting, that they're trying to get Maduro to talk about the election fraud that's going on down there. So I guess it can, I don't really know, man. They want Maduro to flip on the election fraud down there. Why would that be important?
Yeah. I mean, whether or not it's an election fraud, many of the constituents there, even though they disfavor Maduro, they're going to see examples such as, boats being blown up without any concrete evidence that these guys are actually drug smugglers, as U.S. aggression, seizing oil tanks, which oil is the major factor of stimulating their economy. I believe is 80 to 85%. And so all these actions, some of the constituents are going to view it as U.S. aggression.
Thank you, Doris. Nah, I got a donation.
So,
my bad, caller. I got a donation.
Yeah, like I said, whether or not it was, election fraud, it's just that some are going to be like on how to view the U.S. at this point, whether they're saviors or whether they're just, the stereotypical, imperialist aggressors that's trying to intrude on, a country's sovereignty. So that's still up in the air. The two solutions that I labeled before is, kind of more realistic. And the last one that I mentioned, how to make a smooth transition of power, is unknown because, like I said, there's a plethora of scenarios that can play out, whether, in high, powerful positions want to, decide to go head on with the U.S. and lots of blood is going to be spilled. And it can eventually lead to a long drawn-out war like Iraq and Afghanistan, which objectively that's a huge failure, and Donald Trump doesn't want that. Can he do it within 3 years? I doubt it, but I mean, if he does, it'll be such a huge historical achievement, looking at it from a geopolitical perspective. U.S. national interests and what you mentioned before as the Monroe Doctrine, we need to change the meaning of that term now because, everyone's using it. That's completely different from the actual standard definition.
No. Trump is calling it the Monroe Doctrine 2.0. He's calling it the Trumpton Doctrine, something, the Trumpstein. I don't know. He's got his own name for it, and it's building off of the old Monroe Doctrine from 1823. But yeah, Trump's got it has taken a modern effect.
Oh, okay. So yeah, and with the Iran situation, can you please just give me like a few details on like what's going on? Because I haven't read on it, or read about it, I should say.
So from my research and from the few calls I got, Iran wants to put back their king in power. Right now they have a supreme leader, and the supreme leader, there's riots, a lot of unrest and overthrow and whatever you want to call it going on. 91 cities are down there going off right now, and they want the king back. They want the guy that's in charge now gone. They want the king back. The king and his officials are shooting crowds of people. One girl got shot in the face December 31st. She succumbed to her wounds on yesterday, I believe. I think 10 people have been killed unalived during this.
Oh, okay. So at this point, it's like there's a civil unrest in Iran, and whether or not the U.S. should intrude is, I'm still up in the air with that, because they are the #1 state sponsor in terror, but is it worth the U.S. to get into a hot war with Iran? I don't see the sense in that. It's best for them to just, fight it out, and the U.S. and Israel stay on the sideline and watch and see how it plays out. As at this point, I'm just gonna really interject on my perspective. I'm gonna have to read a few sources to get better knowledge of what's actually going on, because I don't want to
Okay.
say stuff that I don't know anything about.
No, most definitely, caller. I appreciate you for calling in, man. We got a few more callers trying to get through, but I hope you subscribe to the channel and give us a call back one day.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
Hey, man, we had a great conversation, man. Appreciate you for your information. All right, man.
Oh, hello?
Top Cat, what's going on, man? Tell these people where you from, what's your name, how old you are, man.
Man, I'm old. I'm from the West Coast. Nah, I'm in my late 40s. I'm 47. I'm in California, and I'm Top Cat. And we after dark, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Don't do too much. I want to leave this stream up.
All right, man. Whoa. So I had it all, man. I've been listening to some good stuff, and I had it all together now. It's trying to mix up. But I wanted to start by the first thing that you addressed tonight, that picture that you, or that clip, the first clip I saw, and then the first caller. I had a couple things. And, yeah, you've been on it tonight. I like how you've been speaking, plus you've been on your shit. So, much ups to you for doing your work on this subject, because you've been on it for a couple months now, and you've been directly, everything happened kind of in step by step.
Man, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, so on that first clip, you know what I'm saying, with Trump and stuff, man. How'd you feel about that? And I mean, every participant.
Okay. Thank you, William, and all right, Dorsey, I'll check it after the stream. Thank you for the subscription, Wilson. Everybody double tap the screen. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal, and we're 13 likes away from 300. Let's get to 300 likes right quick, chat. So you mean the actual press conference?
Exactly.
Okay. I believe Trump did what he did. He got up there, he talked about the subject at hand, and then he got the rambling about some shit nobody really wants to hear about on today, at least, you know.
So how'd you feel about his cheerleaders?
I mean, Hegseth has to speak. He's the Secretary of the War. Thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you for the gifted membership, Dorsey. Dorsey's girl, lady. I feel like, okay, so I think Hegseth has to talk. The other general, he really didn't cheerlead. He kind of gave us a step-by-step breakdown of what went on. Yes, they did praise Trump, but it was more of Hegseth has to talk because that's his sector, and the general actually gave us a step-by-step breakdown. Trump got up there and told us what the hell we actually needed to know, as in we're going to control the oil, as in we're going to control Venezuela until there's a judicial change of power. That's what we needed to know from out of all of that, was what the hell is finna go on with Venezuela, who's in control of Venezuela, and what's finna go on with that oil. He said, yeah, that's our oil, and we're going to control Venezuela.
I mean, okay, something just popped into my head about that, too. So if he says we're going to control things until there's a diplomatic resolution to their
judicial, he was very specific with judicial. So I don't know what that would mean. He didn't say diplomatic. He just said judicial.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all regime change. I mean, they're doing what they want to do. So on another end, I'm just thinking at the point he's saying, how are you guys going to enforce what you're talking about unless there's boots on the ground?
I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think he's not. I don't believe boots on the ground is off the table. We're talking about $17 trillion worth of oil here, Top Cat. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I'm not here to say whether it's right or wrong. I'm just here to report the news, tell you where I think it's going. And for $17.3 trillion, I very much well think Trump will have some people over there looking around.
Yeah. I'm saying right now, you just said that it's happened already. We've already breached different lines and international law and everything with this situation. So he's saying this is what's going to happen. So this is part of the plan. Are there already boots on the ground now? And everybody's just thinking and looking at it a different way, but not realizing that ain't nothing happening. And there's boots on the ground. We're occupying places in this country.
It's imperialism, man.
Oh, I understand that. I mean, I know there's been people out there on a different aspect, but I'm talking about occupying space. This is like some Gestapo stuff.
It's like this. Okay, so we understand that it's a consolidation of power, man. There's no way I can dress this shit up. It's a consolidation of power, man. Getting the Americas together. Venezuela has all of those resources. And that's what's really going on. That's what's really going on. We have our resources, our strategic oil reserves, and our untapped resources, but Venezuela already is pulling that shit up. Here in the U.S., we got to do the fracking and all of that. Also, it's about the alliance. Now we have a little more leverage because they're saying that with us taking control of the Venezuelan oil, along with our partnership.
Now everybody's going to believe when I said we're just paying Argentina to invade Venezuela. We're going to give y'all a beef deal. Let us in.
So what is the partnership with? Is the partnership, I believe, is with Saudi Arabia. Is that the partnership we got with the oil?
Yeah, the one that was touching all up on it. He was touching all this stuff.
I think that's the partnership we got. So with that part, with us securing the Venezuelan oil and that partnership, that alliance right there controls 50% of the oil supply now.
Yeah, it's kind of cornering Russia in. Very good strategic move. If you understand imperialism, that's what I was going to talk about. You gave the definition and you're saying imperialism, but I'm going to give it to you in examples that you might not be thinking about, other people don't, because I swear, I don't know what's wrong with you cats, man. Roman Empire. See, if you start hearing these names, that you're understanding what imperialism is. Like, it's everything you've ever read about. Rome was how many? There was Roman Egyptians, there was Roman Romans, Roman Greeks, there was Roman Italians, there was Roman all this, and now people are from the Roman Catholic Church. Like, their empire is still extending to this day. If you don't understand what an empire is, they're doing this shit right over again in our face. Like, we finna move the lines again? Damn. It's wild. So, like you said, I think Taiwan's going to be moved on next. We just made a move, and China's going to make a move because I think it's all to do with China. And it's an imperialistic battle right now. That's why China was pushing so hard in Africa, and we're saying that we're making a push now and our resources in our areas to kind of snuffle up and get things kind of tucked away for a race, because it's a race right now. I was talking about this a long time ago, if you remember, but.
All right, so listen. I seen a clip of Maduro meeting with the Chinese diplomats, and Maduro was like, is it the year of the horse? And Maduro was like, I'm a tiger. And he was like, is it the year of the horse? And so I went and looked it up. It was like it symbolizes vitality, speed, and perseverance. This is the year of the fire horse. It says culturally the horse represents progress, military might, and intelligence in ancient Chinese society. It's just weird that Maduro would bring that up when he's meeting with the Chinese diplomats, and then we got Hegseth and Trump coming out saying that they had used some of those offensive weapons that they,
And I'm kind of like,
That's what I said. They was out there pussy popping on a handstand, bro. Like after that shit, it was this, it was that. Like, look, I expect nothing less with what you're saying because you're one of the most disrespectful motherfuckers I've ever heard in my life, bro. For the rest of the military, it might get you hyped to go try to do better, but he just said that everybody that gave their life in valor and every situation, every precise thing that's ever happened in military execution in American history, this was the best one. It should be. It should be, goddammit. It should be Silicon Valley. It should be. We got all the best, and we should be doing the best. So, I mean, if everybody's just completely excited, I am too. I think that it was a beautiful thing how things have went in that aspect. But in another point, I'm like, okay, what are y'all expecting less? I sit out here and watch goddamn shit going to space from Orange County. Like, what? We should be doing better than that on the ground where we walk and live at. We should be that good now. And I said, like, basically, I'm finna tell you the truth. The whole shit was a hoax. The whole shit was a farce. Everything we just looked like. He got his wife and him. Fuck what they talking about, man. He was sitting up there giving a thumbs up. This whole shit is a farce. Like, I don't believe shit. This shit been planned the whole time. They didn't have all the countries around about this shit, and he already knew how he was trying to give up and do his shit. He's just trying to take some honor with him on the way out.
Yeah, they had reports back in November that Maduro had already secured property in Dubai and was ready to give up the oil deal and ride it out in the sunset in Dubai. And Trump came out and said, yeah, he was ready to make a deal in the end. I didn't want to make a deal. That's why I know that Maduro ass is finna go to Florence. His ass finna go to the Supermax in Florence, Colorado. His ass going to the Rockies or the Alcatraz for narco-terrorism.
They can give him whatever they want. I think his ass gonna be sitting on an island somewhere, and you're gonna be looking at a double sitting in there. Because I've seen a whole bunch of people that right now I could go find them a double down the street. Goddamn it! So I don't trust nothing that's going on. Nobody gives the thumbs up in the goddamn handcuffs when they know their life is over. He's finna be fine. All that shit is a part. He don't have a scratch. You got me and my woman. Like, me and my wife. So we both get to disappear just ever so gently into the night. Like, hell no. This shit is fake. You made your ploy. You planned the whole thing. You got all this stuff riled up. Come on. They couldn't put up a better fight than that. Like, oh, they provided cover. Like, come on, man. We're talking about a nation. Like, they're that good. If they are that good, I'm happy for them. Great job. Damn, that's terrible. This shit is set up. That's just my opinion. It's set up. I've never seen somebody get caught like that. You mentioned earlier, what was his name? Gaddafi. Okay, and then who was president when Bin Laden got hit?
Bin Laden? Was it Obama?
Both of them got hit when Obama was in. Gaddafi and that's what I was trying to get at earlier. I'm trying to tell you that too. Like, he is on par with trying to max whatever he's seen done in history with other, people in economics, and then even in these situations, he is battling. So like, Obama did this, I can't be the best president until I get me one of these. So now he has one.
Correct.
Obama had Gaddafi and he had Bin Laden. So it's not the first time we've seen stuff like this too. So that's why I was like, he's on par to be the best. He's really, he might have a checklist where he's like, I'm trying to check to say I did everything and y'all can't tell me shit. Like, he might really be doing that, but I'm on par though with the lives lost and who it's going to come to, and like what he was saying, I really don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Everybody is going to have a problem right now with this situation. I don't think there's going to be a lot of loss of life over this situation or nothing, because I think it's a hoax. I think everybody's going to realize, like, oh, this is what he was doing, or everybody already knows. If not, why aren't they rioting like Iran? It's like, am I going to sit here that stupid? Somebody come in here and just yank somebody out, and I think we're not even going to throw up, no type of defense. We're not. Nobody got caught when this was going on. Come on. That Israel stuff just happened. And that ain't been nothing but 2 years. So how are you gonna be on high alert from the United States in it's that way? This is a hoax. It was all set up, and anybody that lost their life over this is terrible. This is their hoax. This is a high level hoax. And the bottom of the list lose their life over this. They get unalived. Cold. Yeah, and the young dude that came on earlier, man, it's sad because I know how the schools teach and everything, and that's why they have a view on things like they have it. He said, why does anybody, to live in the United States and know the United States history, and say, why is anybody against the United States? What, if you're American, like, man, to be American means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So you have to have a young mind of what you just read or what you constitute as that, or you just been listening to that Stater Brothers motherfucking song too long. Just the heartland, like, who the fuck is you? Like, America ain't always been what you think it is. To every American, it ain't. So that's just some young talking. I mean, and taking different things out of different things. No, that's not really what's happening. Everybody doesn't have the same history. America's different. You know what I mean? So to be American is to have, the punchback. We are the resilient ones. So you're always going to have a struggle here to actually produce further and faster. So I understand this point, but I mean, you're just young in your thought. You don't understand that these costs and these hoax, this country's been playing games for a long, long time.
Okay.
Yeah, what was the next clip you did after that? The girl that got bumped in the head,
What you mean? The girl that got shot in the face?
Yeah, she got bumped. Damn.
Yeah, they say she succumbed to her injuries. I think they said it was, that was in Iran.
Yeah, and I mean, do you still see the difference on how this is getting reported compared to what we heard getting reported in Palestine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the difference is like, you're seeing is if hundreds and hundreds of people are getting unalived, and you don't see not one. None of these girls were important as that girl. The 50 of them, like, it's kind of, sometimes the humanity in yourself has to look at things and say, I can see it plain as day. For me to ignore that in my decision making makes me less of a person. And that's all I got to say, Plug. You can get some people on. I want to hear some more good stuff.
All right, Top Cat, man. We probably finna get ready to get up out of here, man. I'm gonna give it's one. Yeah, we finna get up out of here, Top Cat. We'll be back in the morning.
All right, that's 100.
All right, now. All right, chat. We'll let one more person call in, man. If somebody else, one more person want to call in, we'll take one more call, and we're gonna get up out of here, man. Facts. Miles, Happy New Year. What's up with Ivan?
Call from
Dorsey.
What to do, Dorsey?
Okay,
Okay, since ain't nobody else calling, I'm gonna finish what I was gonna say.
Go ahead. Turn your
Okay,
phone
hold on.
down.
Let me turn the. Hey, check this out. As far as those Iranian protests and so forth, first of all, the king of Iran left Iran in the 1950s, and he died a long time ago. So there is no king. Talking about bringing back the king. I don't know who that knucklehead who called in. I ain't trying to disrespect you, young lady, but you've been lied to. You can Google that. The king of Iran died a long time ago. He was put out by British Petroleum Oil Company, and they installed the Shah. The Shah was a colonel in the army, the Iranian army, and he took over as the Shah. He was a dictator. He tortured thousands of college students that protest him being in charge. You know, they would come in the middle of the night and drag you off. So all they did was they got rid of one oppressive government to have another oppressive government. That is the way they get down in Iran.
Happy New Year, Amanda. Hell yeah. So you said it was a Shah, no king. According to your research, they said these are facts. They say you cooking, Dorsey. Happy New Year, Amanda. Hope you're having a good New Year.
So when the girl calling in talking about, oh, well, I seen the girl on YouTube, she was protesting, and the people are talking about bringing back the king. Ain't no king. The king is dead. Long live the king. Ain't no royal family. They dead. Okay? So, you know, the Ayatollah Khomeini, the king, the Shah was trying to kill that fool. So
Thank
he
you,
ran
Patrick.
off to France.
They say the
He ran
Shah
off
of
to
Iran
France.
people, this is son. So, are they just trying to say that they want the son of the old leader to come back to power?
I guess because the son, that makes him a prince. That don't make him no king. He don't get to be
Well,
king.
if he's the rightful king, if the king dead and even if they're not in power, he would still be the rightful king. They're trying to, instead of it being a supreme leader, they want to bring back kingship, is what they're saying.
Okay, so
I believe.
when the
I don't
king
know
get
for
in power,
sure, but what I'm inferring is that since there is no longer a king and there's a supreme leader now, they want to get the supreme leader out and bring back kingship. And since the king you're saying is dead, his son would be the rightful heir, so that would be the king that they will want to bring back, allegedly.
Okay, then that's a valid point. See, that's like, remember when they was talking about from the river to the sea? People from the Palestinian protesters was talking about the river to the sea.
Right.
They were saying that, and then the people were asking, well, what river are you talking about? And then they went, duh. They didn't know it was the Jordan River. And so when people get these little half-ass, sayings and all that, they don't understand. They just parroting what other people said. You understand what I'm saying? With no full understanding of what they talking about. You know, and the girl talking about, well, the women of Iran, they get to do a lot of things, but they do have to have a dress code. That feminism, it don't sell there. Because what? They expect their women to be in the house taking care of children. They expect their women to dress accordingly. They don't let their daughters run around and hang out in the street. See, that girl who got shot in the face, her ass was supposed to have been in the house.
Here we go.
She wasn't supposed to have been hanging out in the street. What happened to girls that hang out in the street? Club in the hood. They get caught up, right? Even in Chicago, the girls that hang out in the street, they're the ones who catch that stray bullet. Now, in order for her to get shot in the face, that means you had to be in the front of the crowd. You had to be right there in the police face talking crazy, right? All right, that's all I'm saying. See, it's not like, the people in the United States think that it's supposed to, U.S. law is supposed to go everywhere. No. American laws stop at the American shores. What other people do in other countries, that's their business. Not everybody think that democracy is the best way for their country that go under. When they talk about communism, well, yeah, communism replaced what was it? Because it was Tsar Nicholas, and he was a more oppressive king than any of the communists, because he was check this out. They had this one thing where if you said something that the village didn't like, line up 100 men on both sides and make you work down, and you would get hit with a fist from everybody in the village. Okay? That's from the Dumas. Okay? So, I understand we're in modern times, but you got to understand, man, people have their own ways of living, and sometimes the American lifestyle does not fit with their cultural history. You see where I'm coming from? Okay, so I'm going to get off that. So the other thing, as far as with, what was the other one?
How do you feel about Putin calling for the release of Maduro and his wife? Not Putin, but Russia calling for the immediate release of Maduro and his wife.
Man, Russia don't run nothing but their mouth. They can just barely keep up with Ukraine.
They got Snowden.
And he better shut up. And he better shut up, because Trump trying to help him get part of his country back, right?
Allegedly.
You see what I'm saying? He's trying to broker a deal with Zelensky, trying to talk him to, hey, Zelensky, go and give up some of that land and just, call it a day. Now, Putin had put his little 2 cents in, so now he might jeopardize the peace talk. He might have talked too much and put his own foot in his mouth. Now he might have to fight a war without Trump, because Trump don't like nobody getting in his business. Trump will turn on you. Trump like, hey, don't get out and stay out my business. Didn't you say this is the Monroe Doctrine 2.0?
How do you feel Trump's gonna have to negotiate with Xi? Because Xi is Venezuela. Xi's in Venezuela for about $60 billion in loans. They also got all of those small refineries over there. America's about to be, in the mix, and I don't understand how they're gonna ante up for that $60 billion in loans if we're gonna take control of that oil. Do you see Trump, negotiating and like, okay, Xi, I know they owe you $60 billion, so we're going to do that, but that's it, or what?
Okay, so what Trump will do, he will go to the president of the Philippines, he will go to the Japanese, he will go to Vietnam, and he will go to all the players in that region who wants that the South Sea, them South Sea oil reserves. They've been wanting that oil reserves. That's why they really want Taiwan, because if they go to Taiwan, that expands their their national water, territorial waters. So then if they say, hey, we got Taiwan, so everything around Taiwan to the east belongs to China, to the west belongs to China. So now you're encroaching in on our territories. So with Trump, if he really want to play the game, if he say, okay, China, we ain't gonna let you have the oil from Venezuela, but we will let you have access to the South Sea Islands. Coming from?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a large oil deposit over there in the South Seas, the China Sea.
Yeah,
they call it the China Sea.
Yeah, I believe China's gonna move on Taiwan. Trump's they came out, what was it, just yesterday or 2 days ago, and said reunification with Taiwan is imminent. They also been having increased military, drills over there. Yeah, I think they're gonna go ahead and go take Taiwan. They have to do something in retaliation, cause
Right, but see, my whole thing is what you tell me in front ain't what you saying behind the closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I look like I'm being tough, but the backdoor deal is, hey, China, let us go on and get this Venezuela shit, and we'll let you have Taiwan. Russia, stay the fuck up our business, and we'll let you have some of that land. We'll let you have Crimea from the Ukraine. Stay out my business. Do we have an understanding? Yeah, you can tell your people whatever you want to tell them to make you look like you're being tough against American imperialism, but what we really know is behind the closed doors, everybody putting money in their pocket. Everybody putting money. You know, Xi, he getting his money, and Putin getting his money, and Trump getting his money. So everybody getting paid. But we all getting told, oh, they're finna start a... Man, they not finna throw rice at a wedding. I know most people be saying, was you always saying that rice at a wedding?
They was throwing eggs at the embassy.
But they ain't throwing bricks.
You would said they ain't gonna throw rice at a wedding. I just said they was throwing eggs.
Well, rice ain't eggs, is it?
Nah, that's what I said what they was doing.
Hey, they ain't throwing that rice, I know that. Hey, but like I'm saying, look, man, if they really, okay, when a country really is against America, don't they burn flags and do all that? Did they burn the American flag?
The hell, I don't know.
I mean, you can, you know, news clips, all that, because I know you do the research later on. You're going to see. But they ain't burn no flag. You know, hell, we throw eggs. Shit, I throw eggs at Halloween. Shit, I egg people's houses all the time. Too, if they piss me off. Yeah. So, you know, what they say in front, you know, in front of the camera is not what they're saying behind the scenes. He wants a world war, because if they have a world war, everybody loses. You see where I'm coming from? That's the chance for the corporations to go ahead and consolidate their power, because now when the American oil companies go down there to Venezuela, guess who wins? Stockholders.
Every time.
You see where I'm coming from? The American people don't win. The stockholders win. It ain't like we gonna get free gas. We're gonna pay for it. Yeah, it might be cheaper, but at the same time, we paying for it, right?
Of course.
Okay. So if the United States go ahead and get those, you know, the Venezuelan oil, how many Americans are going to go down there to Venezuela and help rebuild their infrastructure? Because their infrastructure has been neglected for damn near since the 70s when socialism first hit. The reason why I know is because I worked with a dude who was from Venezuela. He was Arab and Latin. His dad was an Arab and his mom was a Latina. And he used to live in Caracas, but his family had to leave because when they socialized in the oil industry, his dad, him being an Arab, he was out of a job because his dad was a petroleum engineering. The other petroleum engineering person I know who was from Iran, his name was Rezar. My mom dated him. And he told us all about how it was. And this was when the Shah was still in power, right? About the king and all that, because he told us all about the history of Iran and so forth. And what happened is, when he went back, he became the agricultural minister, and he had a chauffeur and a Mercedes-Benz. And what happened is he was on a mountain road, and the rebels hit his Mercedes with a RPG, and he went over the side, and he died. You know, they notified my mom of his death because we were supposed to have been scheduled to go out there a couple months, and you know, so you know that's how I know. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be so passionate if I didn't know people who actually from these places who tells me the truth, because we ask questions. See, you just like me. Like to ask questions. You want to get to the bottom of it. You see where I'm coming from? And that's why I be in your show. That's why I call and I say my little two-piece and all that. And like I said, you know, you keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the people don't like what you have to say, and, you know, they can't handle the truth, but you're going to give them the truth. And they still got to remember, we not Republicans and we ain't Democrats. We independent. We are the politically homeless, and we don't trust neither party. You know, that is what I got to say. Hey, man, it was a great show. I'm glad people called. I know I pissed a lot of people off, but that's what Dorsey do. Dorsey, that's one thing I get my chuckles on, pissing people off. And, you know, like I said, you're a very educated person. If the Navy told you they wanted you to go to nuclear fission school to be in a submarine, that means you had a very high IQ. Okay? So I respect you on that part. And then also I respect you because you read, you research. You just don't go on what people tell you on little, you know, clips. No, you go back and you go behind the scenes. You know, really, you need to go on and be like your boy Nick Shirley and go on out there on them streets and start finding out. You know what I'm saying? You'll be a great investigative and reporter. You nosy as hell.
Nah, they don't like talking to me because I'm black.
Shit, tell them you Somalian. Shit, they ain't black.
Yeah, nah. You remember when I went out there to the No Kings in Austin? The first time they talked to me. The second time I had my do-rag on, they didn't want to talk to me.
Exactly. You knew. Yeah, you had that black cowboy hat on, right?
The first time I had a cowboy hat on. The second time I had a do-rag on.
See, you should have stuck with your disguise. Oh, you went. The first time you went as Leroy the Cowboy, they saying, you know, you coming as, you know.
Nah, I think it was because that was after Charlie Kirk got, you know what I mean? I think that's why.
Oh, yeah, they was mad at everybody, you know. We ain't going to say, you know. But they was mad at everybody. Because, you know, black folks, we was going around high-fiving and shit. Like, you know how we feel about Charlie Kirk.
No, don't say no we. We was going around.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not you.
I don't high-fiving nobody. What the hell is you talking about? Talking about you know how we was doing. We was doing shit.
Nah, see, Plug, he was fair about it. You know, he said that Charlie Kirk was a master debater and everything, and, you know, he gave him his props on how he conducted his little audience. He was making that money. You know, you was cool with it.
I just was high-fiving that he got shot. You try to say I was. You talking about some weed. I wasn't doing that. So I had to clarify
I
wasn't doing it.
I'm sorry. Sometimes my French kick in, you know. But like I said, I know this is off thing because I missed it, you know, because I didn't have my phone at the time. What you think about Nicki Minaj and Erica Kirk going out there, and then Nicki Minaj talking about J.D. Vance, the assassin? And, you know, the whole audience got real quiet when she said that, right?
We already talked about that, Dorsey, with you.
I missed that part. Okay, then let me talk about the nudist. We talked about the nudist colonies too, right?
That was early. That was on this morning show.
Yeah, I applied for a job as a towel boy at a nudist colony down in Florida, right? They didn't want to hire me.
I wonder why.
Because, you know, I was packing, that's why.
Man, get the fuck out of here, Dorsey. Get on my damn phone, man. All right, y'all. That's the end of the show, man. We got out of here, man. She talking about she don't believe that.
Nah, hey, the greatest show on YouTube.
Nah, Dorsey tripping, man. And then he got exposed. She said, I don't believe that. All right, chat. I got this I got this stuffed jalapeno over here, and I don't have nothing to drink, man, and I don't feel like going nowhere, so I'm probably just gonna have to not eat that stuffed jalapeno, because I know it's gonna be hot as hell. I know it's gonna be hot. That bad boy gonna be hot, ain't it, chat? Alright, chat, man, we up out of here, man. Double tap the screen, shut the live out. I hope everybody had a great night, man. I hope everybody had a great night rocking out with us. Be sure to share this live out. Do not gatekeep this channel. Share it to your timeline, or the last person you text. Does not really matter to me. I'm dropping the Discord link. We do have a free Discord that will turn into a paid Discord in March. So get in while it's free, man. Secure your spot while it's free in our Discord. If you can't click that link in the chat, screenshot the chat and you go to your pictures and it'll be clickable. Screenshot the chat, go to your pictures, it'll be clickable, take you right to our Discord. Starting in May, we will charge a one-time entry fee to get into the Discord, man. I'll see y'all on the next one, chat. Good night, chat.